Excuse me. Hello, we are live for Chelsea against Everton. And as you can probably tell, I am not very well. I am not very well. You may remember if you've been on any of the other streams over the last few days. My little girl's been poorly. And she has lovingly transmitted this to me, I think. So I am, I've not got a great voice, a great cough today. And sadly it's landed on the day that we're going to do 4 streams back to back. Chelsea against Everton. Then we're going to do Newcastle against Ipswich at 3 o'clock. Then we're going to do the FA Cup semi-final, 5:15. Palace against Aston Villa. That's going to be a huge game. And then obviously we go into tonight's big Classico, El Clasico, Copa del Rey final, Barcelona against Real Madrid. That's a 9 o'clock kickoff UK time. So, yeah, I'm really struggling voice-wise. You might get some embarrassing moments once or twice where my voice goes. I'm hoping my voice lasts the full day. I'm hoping it lasts for tomorrow. Liverpool clinching the Premier League title. I'm hoping it lasts for that. But we shall see. I've taken some cough medicine. Just hoping it doesn't give out, and I can keep speaking throughout the lives. But Chelsea v Everton, Stamford Bridge. The fans are just starting to filter in. We're about an hour away from kickoff, but the lineups are out, so we can go through the lineups now. Jaden, thank you for joining, mate. 6 days in a row. Good man. No, mate. Do you know I've been saying my little girl's been poorly. FM No Casuals has just put late one last night. No. My little girl's been poorly. As you'd expect. Yeah, I've got it now. So, coughing. I feel all hoarse and all... Yeah, not good. Not good. So, but I'm committed. We've got 4 streams today. Hopefully, I can ride it out. And I don't have any bad moments, any embarrassing moments when my voice goes and I sound like a 13-year-old boy again. But let's go through the lineups. Robert Sanchez in goal for Chelsea. I don't know if this is accurate, but we've got Romeo Lavia at right back for Chelsea today. Romeo Lavia at right back, Chalobah, Colwill, Cucurella on the left, as you'd expect. That usual midfield trio of Fernandes and Caicedo with Palmer just in front of them. Madueke right, Neto left, and Jackson up front as the centre forward. So that's Chelsea's lineup. FM No Casuals, rough, 60 Marlboro a day, Prem Dad. 60, yeah, chain smoking. Marlboro Lights. Whew. Andy, I support Everton for this game. Need Chelsea to lose. Who's your team, Andy? Who's your team? Might you be a Nottingham Forest fan or a Newcastle fan or maybe a Villa fan? Michael Caicedo, right back today, inverting. Right, okay. It's on Flash Scores, they've got Lavia as right back, and I thought that looked a little bit odd. So, Caicedo dropping into right back might make a touch more sense. Andy, I'm a Newcastle fan. Right, okay, cool. Good. Oh, there you go. 1st of January, New Year's Day 2005, they're showing Joe Cole scoring at Anfield, beating Liverpool. I was at that game. Me and my dad were sat on the Anfield Road end upper, and Joe Cole scored a volley at the Kop end, beat us. That's why I never liked him when he came to Liverpool. He always seemed to score against us, Joe Cole. Right. So, Dan Burns. What's that? Dan Burns versus... What's your name? Dan Burns. That seems like a cool username. 1 second. Why can't I see what your full name is? Dan Burns versus... It doesn't show me. Oh, that's grim. Dan Burn. I'll call you Dan Burn. Do you think Chelsea would sign Sancho permanently? I think they have to, don't they? Isn't there an obligation built in there somewhere now that he's played X number of games and therefore I think they might have to. I think if it was up to them, I think probably not. But it seems like the right thing to do for the player, and they've kind of hit a level now where maybe they have to. So, Andy, who do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, Andy. I'm a Liverpool fan. So I'll level with you, mate. I hate the pair of these. I hate Chelsea, I hate Everton, but I'm a Liverpool fan. Premier League, Dad, if you've never watched us before, we are a channel that we're not like your AFTVs and your Anfield Agendas or your Red Men or whatever, whatever you watch along United stand. We're not like those in that we're just one club. We watch everyone. We watched Championship game last night. We watched Stoke against Sheffield United last night. We watched Birmingham against Stevenage the night before. We're watching Copa del Rey games tonight. We're watching Serie A games tomorrow. Napoli against Torino. So we do everyone. Every single Premier League team. I'm a Liverpool fan. We have loads of different fans in the chat. We have West Ham fans, Newcastle fans, Coventry fans. Everyone gets involved. So it's a good bit of banter in the chat. We have loads of action, loads of activity in the chat. It's all good fun. So yeah, if that's your thing, get subscribing, get on YouTube and follow us as well. Premier League Dad. And if it's not your thing, then yeah, breeze on by. Good to have you either way. Corinne, I'm watching you on telly. Christ, that's not good. Widescreen, that is not good. Corinne, I swear you're his missus. Andy, if they finished below 15th, they would not be obligated to buy Sancho. Such a strange clause. Wow, really? Yeah, that is a mad one, isn't it? That is a mad one. Excuse me. I'm going to be doing that frequently throughout today, so I apologise in advance. My little girl has infected me with that horrendous cough that she's had for God knows how long. So, yeah, I sound like I've been up all night chain smoking 60 Marlboros, as FM No Casuals said. So, yeah, not good today. Let's go on to the Everton lineup, because we didn't cover that one. We did the Chelsea lineup. But let's just talk through the Everton lineup, because there is a couple of changes in the Everton lineup. So, in goal, no changes there, as you'd expect. It's Jordan Pickford. In defence, Mikalenko at left-back, as you'd expect. Branthwaite at centre-back. And alongside him is Jake O'Brien, who has been playing right-back for most of David Moyes' tenure. He's actually done quite well at right back, I think, Jake O'Brien. He's been a really good performer since Moyes has come in. For some reason, it didn't really work out for him under Dyche, but I actually think Jake O'Brien's maybe been Everton's standout player under David Moyes. Again, I'm not sure if you're an Everton fan if you'd agree with that, but as a neutral, when I've watched Everton, when I've seen Everton live or watched the highlights, it feels like Jake O'Brien's been a real defensively as well. As much as he scored a couple of goals as well, defensively, it just feels like he's been a lot more solid. And yeah, I think that's a big plus for Everton, isn't it? Because on that right side, they've got Ashley Young, Seamus Coleman, who are close to retirement, and they've got Nathan Patterson, who, again, it hasn't quite worked out for him either. But Nathan Patterson does start today as well. He's next to Jake O'Brien, so that's what I'm looking forward to seeing today. Jake O'Brien in a central position. How does he adapt to that? Into Everton's midfield, it's Garner Gay and Decore with James Garner. James Garner, who came out in an interview over the weekend to say that he was a Liverpool fan, a big Liverpool fan growing up. That never usually settles well with Everton fans, does it? But Gay and Decore alongside him, both of those out of contract this summer. What happens with those two, do we think? Could those two move on at the end of the year? Oh, goodness me. Up front, or rather the front three, it's going to be Illiman and Dye on the left. It's Jack Harrison on the right, and Beto up front, centre forward. FM No Casuals, I'm waiting for this bug when the kids go back from holiday. Happens all the time. Yep, it's, to be honest, every time she gets poorly, we get poorly. So she brings all sorts back from nursery, and everyone gets poorly in the house. So plus Nanny and Grandad as well. Everyone, she's just an absolute patient zero when she comes home from nursery after the holidays, and yeah, not good. Andy, I have to dip anyway, mate. Hope you have a good stream and enjoy the footy. Likewise, Andy. Yeah, enjoy, mate. Take it easy. See you on another one, maybe. HSH does a 7727, whatever your username is. Prediction. I think Chelsea are going to win this one. Yeah, I think Chelsea are going to take this one. I think 2-0. 2-0. I think Everton are going to miss Tarkowski at the back there. As good as Jake O'Brien has been at right back, I'm not sure how well he will adapt alongside Branthwaite in a more central position up against, Nicholas Jackson, Cole Palmer dropping in between the lines there. That's going to be tough. Nathan Patterson's going to have to be up against Neto on that left-hand side as well. Mykolenko, I think, versus Madueke. I think that Mykolenko's been probably one of Everton's standout players as well recently, so I think he'll have Madueke. But yeah, I think Nicholas Jackson and Cole Palmer could cause Everton some real problems today. Callum the Copite, Chelsea 1, Everton 0 is my prediction. Right, okay. Let me know everyone else what your predictions are. I need some other people in the chat to help me out today. Christ, there's no way I can speak. There's absolutely no way I'm making it for what is it going to be? 12 hours of speaking today. I've only been speaking for 15 minutes. Listen to my voice. Listen to the state of it. There's absolutely no way at all I am making it to whatever time in midnight tonight after the Barcelona Real Madrid Clasico Copa del Rey final has gone. Jaden Thompson, hi, good to see you, mate. And 6 days in a row for Jaden. Juju, need Chelsea to break that Moyes Brexit low block. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Juju, Liverpool fan, do you think Liverpool trophy should come with an asterisk because the league has been poor this season? Personally, I think so. Not really, no. Why would it come with an asterisk? You can only beat who's in front of you. And no other trophy comes with an asterisk. And to be honest, I don't agree that the league has been poor this season. It's been one of the most entertaining leagues we've seen for decades, to be honest. Man United and Spurs dropping into the bottom half. A team other than City winning it. And it's not Arsenal. Forest in the top 5. Newcastle and Villa potentially in the top 5. Brighton, Bournemouth all chasing it as well. Yeah, City, the massive drop-off from City, potentially might not even make Champions League. I think they will, but they might not. You never know between now and the end of the season. Palace in an FA Cup semi-final. Newcastle winning the League Cup for the first time. A trophy for the first time in decades. You've got Spurs and Man United in the Europa League semi-finals. You've got Chelsea in the Conference League semi-finals. You've got Arsenal in the Champions League semi-final. This has been an unbelievable season. I don't know what anyone's talking about. Corin, James Garner, a Liverpool fan, and he played for Man U and plays for Everton. Yeah. Rubes, hey Grandad, you okay? I'm good, mate. How are you? Oh, well, I'm not good. I'm lying. There's absolutely no way I can get away with saying I'm good. My little girl has absolutely infected me with this cough she's had. So, yeah, I'm going to struggle throughout the next 12 hours of live streaming. But we'll see how I get on. Stick around for some embarrassing voice cracks at some point. I'm just hoping my voice doesn't give in. HSH 2-1 at least have something of a consolation goal. Anything is better than 6-0. Still got PTSD. Do you think... are you an Everton fan? I'm guessing, HSH. Ryan, thank you for the follow. Shane, 1-0 Everton. Rubes, 4-1 to Everton. Jaden, Amasay 1-1. Ryan, 4-0 Chelsea win. User 152, it hasn't been entertaining at all. In what world hasn't it been entertaining? I think it's been incredibly entertaining. John Barry, that take is so lazy, saying it's been a poor league this year just because Man U and Spurs are crap. Yeah, there you go, John. Absolutely agree. Thank you. Got to back you up on that one. I think it's been one of the most, from a neutral perspective, there's so much to say. I think this has been one of the best, one of the very best seasons we've had in a very long time. Certainly the most competitive. Teams right down at the bottom taking points off those right at the top. Yeah, I disagree. Again, to each their own. Everyone can have their opinion. That's totally fine. But for me, I think it's been a really good, solid season of football. And I think the new Champions League format has been brilliant. I think, yeah, like we say, the FA Cup. Look at the teams in the FA Cup last four. As long as City don't win the FA Cup, you've got a team making history there. You've got a team, Villa, Palace, or Forest. There's sons, dads, and maybe even granddads who won't have seen their team lift trophies for some time. Maybe not granddads, but you know what I mean. Certainly dads and sons who won't have seen those teams lift trophies. Like, it'll be historic, absolutely historic. So I'm rooting for one of those three to lift the FA Cup. I'm rooting for, obviously, Newcastle have won the League Cup. Liverpool are going to win the league. That's another big story, I think. The fact that we're not seeing a City win the league, and Arsenal, who've been second favourites for God knows how, they're not winning it. They've dropped off as well. Manchester United appoint yet another new manager. Doesn't work. So all good. All good. Jaden, 1-1 Chelsea v Ev, 4-1 to Newcastle. Though we'll be live for that one, Jaden, again. We'll be live for Newcastle versus Ipswich at 3 o'clock. Assuming my voice hasn't given in. We will be live for the watch along for that one. So stick around with me for that. 1-1 Aston Villa, Crystal Palace. 5-4 on pens to Aston Villa. Okay. And then Barcelona, you think 2-2, but Real Madrid win 4-3 on pens. Okay. You think both of them are going to go to penalties? This is it. It could be a long night tonight. It really could be a long night. We could be talking about, again, midnight potentially, once the Copa del Rey is all wrapped up. It's a 9 o'clock start here in the UK, so it'll be 9:45, 10, 10:45. Be wrapping up about full time, about 11, won't it? And then if there's extra time, 11:30, maybe penalties about midnight, yeah. So you're definitely going to look at an 11 o'clock to midnight finish for the Copa del Rey. Corin, we're really going to miss Tarkowski today. Yeah, well, have you seen the news that's come out about Tarkowski today? That actually Everton are going to have him out for obviously this season. That's going to be a big one, but it's probably also likely to impact his pre-season as well. He's going to be in for surgery. And I did suspect that. I think we said that during the live, didn't we? We said that he's because he went down against City in the 3 o'clock last weekend, and I think there was a few of us said actually that looks like a bit like the Bukayo Saka one, where it looks like his hamstring. He's felt it straight away, and if it's a tear, then it's surgery, and it's probably 3 or 4 months out. In which case, he might only be back late July, maybe even early August. And then that seems to be the indication given by Everton today. So, yeah, not good at all. Not good at all. Rubes, Ipswich versus Newcastle will be 0-0 there. Yeah, knowing our luck. Knowing our luck, we've picked some absolute cherubs lately, haven't we? Some absolute crackers. Thank you for sending that, by the way, Rubes. Corin, it was always going to be long-term. Yep, absolutely. But get your comments in for this one. Let me know what you're thinking. Chelsea, do we think Chelsea make the top 5? Do we think this Chelsea side make Champions League football next season? And if they don't, by the way, what's the consequence for Enzo Maresca? I mean, I know that's a bit of a loaded question. You would assume we all know what the consequence for Enzo Maresca will be, but do you think he's done enough? Has he earned enough to, let's say, for example, they don't win Let's say, for example, they don't finish in the top 5, but they do win the Conference League. Would that earn Enzo Maresca a reprieve? Would he keep his job next season? Let me know. Let me know what you're thinking about that one. Alfie F, what team do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, Alfie. Liverpool fan, but again, if you're new to the channel, I'll say it every time. We say it every time. I watch everyone. We've done a Championship game last night. We did a League One game before that. We're watching La Liga tonight in the Copa del Rey, Barcelona, Real Madrid. And we're watching Serie A tomorrow, Napoli v Torino. Plus all the Premier League games, the Champions League games, the Europa League games that a lot of the other channels do. But unlike all the other fan channels, we watch everyone. We watch absolutely everyone. So if you like that sort of thing, if that's your thing, give us a subscribe. Get over to YouTube and subscribe. But if that's not, breeze on by. But thank you for being here either way. Alfie, are you respectful to Everton at least? Oh yeah, always. Listen, I'm a Liverpool fan, so of course I have a natural inbuilt hate for all things Man United, Everton, and I've learned to hate Chelsea and City as well. And I don't really like Arsenal all that much, but at least I'm honest about it. So I'll tell you if I'm being biased. I will tell you. Same as you are. Come on, let's be honest, Alfie. You absolutely hate Liverpool, don't you? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. It's exactly how it should be. Exactly how it should be. But I've said nothing disrespectful about Everton in any way, shape or form. In fact, I've said only good things today about Jake O'Brien, about Jared Branthwaite. We've had conversations yesterday about Iliman and Dye and how he's adapted to this Everton side. And maybe do Everton need to be expecting a little bit more from him in terms of output, do you think? Again, he's on, 7 goals and assists for the season? I just feel like for a player of his quality, and undoubted quality, I don't think anyone disputes he's got the ability, he's a very tidy player. I don't think he's done enough. I think he drifts in and out of games a little bit too much. Again, 7 goals and assists. He's on the same number of goals and assists as Adama Traore from Fulham. Fulham's backup right winger. It's that to me, I think you need to expect better from Iliman and Dye next season. I think he's been a very, very good signing, by the way. But absolutely next season, I think he needs to be looking at the double figures, the kind of mid-double figures in all competitions, 15 goals and assists. He's that level of player, isn't he? Alfie, at least there's a good cop-out. Oh, God. You don't know yet, mate. You've not watched me yet. You might change your mind. But I'm not bad. Like I said, I've got family who support Everton, so I can't hate them too much. I just like giving them digs. Same as you like giving us digs when you beat us and all that. Jaden, best matchup this season, NUFC versus Liverpool, 1 win for Liv, 1 draw, and 1 win for NUFC. Yeah, that the 3-3 at St James's Park was a really good game, wasn't it? I mean, we battered them at Anfield, they battered us in the cup final, and the 3-3. I think we should have beat them at St James's. We absolutely threw it away. Kelleher at the end had an absolute stinker. But yeah, that was a good game as well, 3-3. Reese, he's a United fan. I am not a United fan. I'm absolutely categorically not a United fan. Rubes, you're a sweetheart. Thank you very much. Oh. Wojciech. Hi, bro. How's it going? Good to see you again. Let me know what you're thinking about this game, Wojciech. Do you think Everton can get something at Stamford Bridge? Head to head, right. Everton at Stamford Bridge. This is Everton's last 5 games at Stamford Bridge. 6-0 last year. 2-2 the year before. 1-1 the year before that. And 2-0 Chelsea. So it's one win for Chelsea, 2 wins for Chelsea, 2 draws. Oh no, 3 wins. It's 3 wins and 2 draws. That's the last 5 games. Chelsea have got 3 wins, 2 draws, and it's 8, 12. Yeah. So 12. Chelsea have got 14 goals scored. Oh no, 15 goals scored, 3 against across the last 5 games. Everton have scored 3 goals at Stamford Bridge in their last 5 games. This is not a good sign. Wojciech, you watching the Newcastle match later? Yes, I am. I'm live for the Newcastle match at 3 o'clock, and then I'm live for the 5:15 Palace against Villa in the semi-final, the FA Cup semi-final. And then I'm live straight after that for Barcelona against Real Madrid in the El Clasico. So full day of streaming, assuming my voice doesn't give out. As you can probably tell, I'm a little bit poorly. My little girl's infected me with the cough that she's had for some time. So, yeah. I'm struggling through, but we'll see. Hopefully it lasts for the duration. Alfie, what was your opinion on Tarko's goal? In my opinion, great, but shouldn't count. Do you know what? It doesn't matter. I mean, at the time, I was raging. Of course I was. I mean, you can see it. I actually did a live watch-along for it. So if you go to my YouTube, you can see how I reacted to that one. I was raging. I was raging. Of course I was, and I probably did say some not so pleasant things. But at the end of the day, we've won the league. We've won it at a canter. It didn't cost us anything. And that is the last goal scored at Goodison Park under the lights. The last ever goal scored under the lights at Goodison Park was James Tarkowski in the 98th minute or whatever it was. Even though there was only 6 minutes of added on time, he scored it in the 98th minute, rattling it in the top corner in front of the Gladys. That, you know what? No problem with that. No problem. Fair play to him. Absolutely fair play to him. So, they had a great moment. It was a great derby. It wasn't particularly fantastic to watch. I thought Everton probably deserved the point in the end. The movement from Beto for that first goal, Beto all of a sudden came to life. It was a really good finish from him. And, I have no problem with that. It was a good goal, really good finish from Tarkowski. There probably was a shove in the back. There probably should have been blown up 2 minutes earlier, but so what? We've had our breaks in the derbies over the years, haven't we? The bigger issue was Tarkowski should have been sent off at Anfield. That was a rat tackle, that. Reece Barca keeper in the chat. Yeah, Wojciech. Sorry, I forgot about that. Jaden, as an NUFC fan, Gordon needs to be doing better after that red card. He's been off. Do you think Gordon leaves this summer? There's rumours Gordon might be coming to Liverpool again. Funnily enough, there's been lots of talk about Anthony Gordon to Liverpool recently. Wojciech, I believe it'll be 2-1 to Chelsea here. Well, Enzo Maresca's just given his interview now. Possibly the strongest starting 11 available for Chelsea. Question is, how fit is Lavia? Am I missing something? We haven't played all week. Why can't Reece James start at right back, says Bradley. Okay. I don't know what's going on with Reece James. I just don't ever think we'll ever see him fully fit and back to his best, and he's consistently fit. It's a shame. He's a fabulous player, isn't he? Jason Siller, thank you for the follow. Oliver Taylor, thank you for the follow. Mitchie, what do you think the Champions League final will be? I think it's going to be PSG Barca. I think PSG will do Arsenal over 2 legs, and Barca. I watched Inter the other night. Well, I've watched Inter's last 2 games. They got beat by Bologna in the last minute, threw that away, and they were awful against AC Milan in the Coppa Italia the other night. We did a watch along for that one, and they were dreadful, Inter Milan, absolutely awful. And now they're level on points with Napoli at the top of Serie A. They were winning that at a canter. They were on for a treble, weren't they? The Coppa Italia, the Serie A and the Champions Leagues in the semi-finals. I now think Barca will smash them in the semis. They're out of the Coppa Italia. And Napoli are level on 71 points with them at the top of the league. And we're doing a live watch-along of Napoli against Torino tomorrow night. Bearing in mind, Inter Milan play Roma this weekend as well. That's not going to be an easy game for him. Roma rejuvenated, chasing Champions League football again. So, yeah, really looking forward to Napoli-Torino tomorrow night after Liverpool have clinched the league title against Spurs. That's what we're looking forward to. Rubes, it should have been Villa versus Brighton and Newcastle. Harvey Barnes is underrated, says Jaden Thompson. I just think Harvey hasn't kicked on. He hasn't kicked on since he left Leicester, has he? He's been better recently, but I still don't think he's the player that we all thought he might be. Rubes, thank you very much for the GIFTS. Anthony, thank you for the GIFTS. Jaden, have to go, but we'll come back for the match. All right, mate, no problem at all. Yeah, no problem at all. Take it easy. See you in a little bit. Reece, what's happened to Mudryk? I don't know, isn't there still a case ongoing with him? Isn't there still a case? There's got to be an update on Mykhailo Mudryk. Again, that for me has to go down as the biggest waste of money in Premier League history. The guy's 24 years old. They paid, 80 million quid for him? He's been a real letdown. Just double checking. Romano on Mudryk. What has Fabrizio Romano said? There's still a there's a trial ongoing. That's it. There's no update at all. That there's a trial ongoing and a potential 4-year ban for some banned substance found in his system. He's facing a potential 4-year ban from football. So what does that look like? Yeah. Jason Siller, I want Man City to get beat in the semi-final. Who do you support, Jason? I do too, for what it's worth. I'm a Liverpool fan. I absolutely do want City to get beat. Primarily, actually, because I think it'd be just better for the game to have a different FA Cup winner. We've had a different League Cup winner this year. Newcastle getting their first trophy in a while. I'd quite like Palace. Or Forest or Villa, really. I don't mind. But I'd quite like Palace. I think Palace are my Cup final team. I'd like them. So I'm watching Palace against Villa today. Yeah, I think any of them three would be worthy winners after the seasons that they've had. But I'm low key rooting for Palace, I guess, just because I love Wharton, I love Eze, I love Mateta's probably one of my favourite centre forwards outside of Liverpool. I think Maxence Lacroix is quality, Gueye as well, Munoz. They're just a really good side, Palace, and I love Oliver Glasner as well and the way they play football. He takes risks, Oliver Glasner, and I think that's one of the things that will probably get him the Spurs job or another big job in the next couple of years. Not for 1 second saying Palace isn't that, by the way, but a bigger job, let's say. Ronnie the Goat. Man City, Villa final. Man City will batter them again. Man City didn't batter Villa the other day. That was a close game. A very close game. And then Nunes with the late winner. Yeah, I think it'll be a tough game, tight game between all of those. Corin, I want Villa to win the FA Cup. I think they're a really likeable club. Yeah, I like Unai Emery as well. Really like Unai Emery. Ronnie the Goat, 2-1, bro. Late winner, actually 2-0, because that was never a penalty. Well, I know, but there's been plenty of decisions where City should have had penalties given against them, mate, and we don't count them as goals or non-goals, so it's just the luck of the draw sometimes. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. Corin, I think Marc Cucurella has been Chelsea's player of the season. He's been much better, hasn't he? He's so annoying, though. Oh, there's very few players in the league who you could just slap him all day and never get tired. Marc Cucurella, couldn't you? He's a bit like Andy Robertson from a Liverpool perspective. Just a bit of a rat, a bit of a wind-up merchant. One of them players. You know, if he plays for your club, you probably love him. If he doesn't, you hate him. And Marc Cucurella is definitely one of them for Chelsea. So I find it difficult to like him. Ronnie the Goat 15. Which team do you support? Liverpool fan, mate. I'm a Liverpool fan. But we watch, again, people will know what I'm going to say, who've watched this channel. I watch everyone. We watched League One games, we watched Championship game yesterday, we're watching Serie A tomorrow night, Copa del Rey tonight, all the Premier League games, we watch everyone. So we're not a fan channel that just does watch-alongs of one team. We have all different fans in the chat. We've got a proper little community for of various clubs, Leeds fans, Coventry fans, we've had Plymouth fans in here, West Ham fans. Everyone gets involved and we all banter each other. So it's all good fun. Corin, I'd love to do a Romero and pull his hair. Yeah, absolutely. Simon 8, do you think Leeds will stay up next season? I do, yeah. I do, Simon. Yeah, we were talking about this last night in the Stoke-Sheffield United game because I've got a bit of stick off Sheffield United fans for saying that I didn't think that if Sheffield... I've said that I don't want Sheffield United to come up. And in part, that's because I do want Coventry and Bristol City to come up. I think one, or even Sunderland. I'd quite like Coventry and Bristol City just for the novelty. I think those two probably would go straight back down again. But we've not seen Bristol City in the Prem ever before. And Coventry, I remember growing up watching Coventry in the Prem. It's 25 years or so since Coventry have been in the Prem. So I'm really looking forward to Coventry or Bristol City in the Prem, and that's why I don't want Sheffield United up. And also, I don't think that Chris Wilder and that Sheffield United team have got the wherewithal to stick it in the Prem. I think they'd go straight back down and it'd be a waste of time. Whereas Leeds and Burnley, I do think have a chance. Leeds do definitely. Burnley, I guess it depends what changes they make this summer. But I think they could stay up. I've had a bet. I have put my money where my mouth is as well. There was a couple of people in the chat who said the same thing's going to happen next season, as has happened in the last two. The top three that go up will go straight back down. And I've said absolutely not. That's not going to happen. And we've had a 50 quid wager on it. So I'll be here next season. Absolutely, I'll be here next season when one of those teams at least stays up. But yes, I do think that Leeds will stay up next season. Absolutely. Ronnie the Goat, will you be live tomorrow for Forest City? I won't, Ronnie. No, I won't be live for Forest City because Liverpool are playing Spurs at the exact same time. What a stupid decision that was from the scheduling team to put those two on at the same time. I'm a Liverpool fan. There's absolutely no way I'm missing a Liverpool game, and Liverpool are going to clinch the title tomorrow against Spurs at Anfield. So we will keep updated on the City Forest game, watch along. And we obviously will do the cup final, the FA Cup final. So assuming City make it, we'll be live for that. But yeah, I'm not live tomorrow. Absolutely not live tomorrow for City and Forest. Rubes, thank you very much again. Noah, Borough are coming up. Borough are throwing it away, Noah. Borough are throwing it away. They are absolutely throwing it away. I thought when you got that Tommy Conway penalty against Plymouth and he stuck it away in the last minute, I thought, you know what, Borough might just pinch this, They might just sneak in at the last minute. But that result against Wednesday at Hillsborough at the weekend, that last minute winner for Wednesday, not good for Borough. Really, really not good for Borough. So I'm expecting... I mean, look, hey, Millwall could sneak in last minute, couldn't they? If Millwall were to beat Burnley at Turf Moor, they could potentially sneak in, especially if Coventry or Bristol City have got Leeds today. Coventry away at Luton, of course. That kicks off in half an hour, 20 minutes. I was tempted. There was a lot of people in the chat wanted me to watch Luton Coventry over this one, because Luton Coventry's got so much riding on it for both teams. So yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm excited. I'm gonna keep an eye out. We've got the notification bell on, so when goals go in, I'll have a bit of a Chris Kamara. We'll keep everyone updated on what's going on. NHB, I want to see Pompey back in the Prem. Yeah, Pompey is a great club, isn't it? Fratton Park, great club. It's a shame what happened to them with the whole, was it Sasha Gadermack and the owners and stuff. It just kind of frazzled away. But they were a great club, Portsmouth. Getting to the FA Cup final, winning it. Getting into Europe. Ronaldinho playing at Fratton Park for AC Milan. Yeah, unbelievable times for Portsmouth. Rubes, you could have both of them on. I could. But I'm not rich enough to have multiple tellies in the same room. So, yeah, I'm just going to keep updated on one. And I can't focus on one thing at the best of times when I'm poorly, let alone two. Give me some credit, Rubes. Corin, I think Sunderland, Coventry and Bristol can all stay up. So can Leeds, not Sheffield United and Burnley, though. Okay. Corin, that loss to Wednesday killed it. I don't know, Jeff. Yeah, that was at Fratton Park, wasn't it? Yeah. Right, so 18 minutes away from kick-off. Moyes just having a little pre-match interview there on the Chelsea bench. So, where does this leave Chelsea in the league table? They're currently 2 points off Newcastle, aren't they? Chelsea really need a win here, don't they? They really, really need a win. I get the feeling that anything other than a win here for Chelsea is catastrophic. Would we agree with that? Catastrophic. I think even if they get a point, and Newcastle obviously beat Ipswich later on today, they could be as much as... Well, obviously Forest are in the FA Cup, but if the results don't go their way, they could be 3 points off the top 5. Yeah, this is big for Chelsea. This is really, really big. NHB, I feel Wolves will go down when they lose Cunha. I guess it depends, doesn't it? It depends what happens with Strand Larsen. It depends. Wolves have got quite a good. I think they've got quite a good transfer, acquisition policy. Wolves. They seem to have done quite well with the transfers they've brought in. I think Agbadou's been quite a good signing at the back for them. Andre João Gomez has been brilliant. We know they've had Vitinha in the past. That didn't quite work out. He went to PSG. Since become one of the best midfielders in the world. May win a Champions League this season. There's talk about Goncalo Guedes, who used to be at Wolves, now potentially joining Manchester United this summer. It feels like Wolves do get a lot right. I think Ryan Aït-Nouri, Cunha, I think they're quite an astute team in the transfer market. Wolves, they don't get a lot wrong. Getting whatever it was it nearly 50 million quid, 40 million quid they got for Max Kilman from West Ham. Now Max Kilman's not a bad centre back, don't get me wrong, but that's a big fee for Max Kilman. So I think Wolves might do all right. I think if they go and get 60 million quid for Cunha, they'll replace him. They could. Strand Larsen has actually been quite a good signing for Wolves. I know he's only on loan, but if they were to keep him, it's one to watch. I think Wolves will be okay. Simon B, thank you for the follow. Aiden, you sound like AJ3. I don't know who AJ3 is, mate. I sound like him, but I don't know who he is. I'll take it as a compliment, I assume. He's got a hoarse... Does he have a deep and hoarse voice? This isn't my normal voice. Definitely not. I am absolutely... Well, not shattered, but yeah, my little girl gave me whatever she's infected me with, some sort of cough that she's had from nursery, and not good. So I'm hoping my voice doesn't give out throughout the day. Sean F, Chelsea are losing today. Corin, if Everton win, we get past 40 points. I can't see Everton winning at Stamford Bridge. Not with this Chelsea team out at the minute. They've got that is a strong Chelsea team. Palmer behind Jackson, Madueke right. Neto left, Caicedo and Fernandes behind him. I think Chelsea will just get the job done today. 2-0, 2-1. Yeah. I would quite like Everton to win. Don't get me wrong, I am low-key. I hate both of these. I'm a Liverpool fan, I hate both of these. But I am kind of cheering Everton on a little bit today. I would quite like Everton to pick up the win. I just don't think they will. Rubes, I think the bottom four next season will be Burnley, Man City, thanks to the charges, and Wolves. Okay, fair enough. Jake, need Chelsea to drop points here. Away the lads. Scouse and Proud, up the toffees. Liverpool fan, are you? I am, mate. Yes, I'm a Liverpool fan, but I'm cheering on Everton for today. And we watch everyone. And this isn't a Liverpool fan channel. We watch everyone. So it's not just Liverpool, and we all have you'll find in the chat there's like every sort of fans. We've got loads of Everton fans in the chat, we've got loads of Arsenal fans, loads of Villa fans, and everyone else, Plymouth fans, Coventry fans, and everyone else. So everyone gets involved. It's not an echo chamber of one club's fans. Corin, Palmer hasn't played well though. He's dropped off a little bit, Palmer. He has dropped off, but I think you'd be foolish to suggest that he's anything other than a very, very good player. Palmer he's still comfortably ahead of Everton's best attacking outlets, Illiman and Dye, and we wouldn't rule Illiman and Dye out today, would we either? So I think you've got to keep it in context. Scouse and Proud, Beto 1.0. Beto has really impressed me recently. I don't know if he'll stay at Everton this summer. Do you think? Obviously, Breuer, he might well go. He can't play today, Breuer, because of the loan. That's right, isn't it? He can't play against his parent club, but I would imagine Breuer goes back to Chelsea. I don't think Everton will make that one permanent. Calvert-Lewin, what happens with him this summer? Beto, he has picked up since Moyes has come in, but I think Everton need a little bit better if they're going to kick on next season. It's just whether or not they've got the money to do so, have they? Just whether or not they've got the cash. If they've got the cash, then maybe they can go and do something. But something tells me things are still a little bit tight at Everton. It might not be so easy for them unless they sell maybe a Jared Branthwaite, which I do think will happen as well. Leon. What about Leon? Leon have still got an outside chance of qualifying for the Champions League next season. Daniel, have you had a haircut? I had a haircut 3 days ago. You was here for that, Dan. I'm sure you was. I'm sure you was in yesterday, wasn't you? I've not had a haircut since yesterday. You was in yesterday, weren't you, Daniel? I'm sure you was. Corin, what Premier League club do you think has the best striker? City. Haaland. Yeah, Erling Haaland, not even in question. Scouse and Proud, thanks for the follow, mate. I know that must have pained you. Blue following a red. I'm only messing. We're alright. We're all friends here. We're all friends, I promise you. Unless it's Derby Day. Then we'll have a dig at each other. And then we'll have a cuddle after it. It'll be fine. Other than City. Yeah, other than City, probably Newcastle. Isak's probably the best centre forward after Haaland. Yeah, out and out centre forward. No skill, Aaron. Oh, here we go. 42's back in. Daniel, but only in the evening. The daylight has shown the quality of your bar, the low quality. Is that what we're talking about here? Cut me some slack. I'm poorly. I'm really poorly. I've not had a great night's kip, and you can tell I am very, very chesty. No skill, Aaron. Ready for the Everton draw, and I don't rate Tappinland. You don't rate Haaland. That's an odd stance to take, but hey, to each their own. I can't say that about Haaland. He's a fabulous player, mate. He really is. He's a good centre forward. Even just on pure numbers, he's brilliant. But if you watch him, he's a beast. There is an element of, and you could say the same about Isak as well. By the way, I don't think there's too many players who, when they're playing poorly and the team's playing poorly, they'll pick the ball up and do something out of nothing. That's why I think Salah is maybe one of the best of all time in the Prem, because Salah can do it for Liverpool out of nothing. Like, he'll be having a 4 out of 10 performance. Liverpool will be doing nothing, and then he'll just pop up with something. He can do something to change a game. It feels like Isak and Haaland are unbelievable finishers, unbelievable in the box. You know, really, really clinical in front of goal. Don't need too many chances. But if the game's not going their way, they can just drift in and out, can't they? They can be a little bit anonymous. They need chances. They need supply, don't they? They need supply. And if you don't give them something, then they're not the old school types of centre forwards. Your Rooneys, your Van Persies, your Suarez's, maybe your Kanes as well. Kane, I think, could drop in and do something out of nothing. Shearer too. Andy Cole was great at that. Andy Cole was great at dropping deep. Robbie Fowler when he was younger. Lots of very, very good centre forwards who could do that. Jake, I like Marmoush, but he's not an out and out centre forward. He's not, no, but he's contributed, hasn't he, since he's come in. We can see already that Marmoush has that talent and that ability. Daniel, how much are you paying for a haircut? Too much is, I'm guessing, the answer you're looking for. I don't know. A tenner, I think. Whatever it was. 20 quid. I can't remember. Somewhere about that. I think I just threw the guy 20 quid. Because I'm not the easiest cut. I'm not the easiest cut for various reasons. Haaland general plays like a League 2 player. No Scalaran, yeah, with a penalty. Gianluca Lissi, thank you for the follow. Daniel, Salah cannot have a good game without GA. What are you talking about? Oh, you mean he can't play well and he only scores? If he's not scored or assisted, then he's had a bad game. I can't disagree more with you on that. There's loads of games where Salah has created loads and just hasn't got the numbers for whatever reason. But yeah, he's done that so many times for Liverpool. Corin, have you heard Delap is Manchester United's #1 striker target? I can't see that. To be honest. I don't imagine that's going to be the case. I still think they're focused on winning the Europa League and getting the Champions League for next season, and then they'll have. You're gonna go and get Gyökeres and Cunha, and we're gonna go and buy all these players. I can't remember what channel it was. There's a United fan channel. My dad was showing it me yesterday. It's a United fan channel, and he said, this is honestly word for word. Actually, I can't say word for word because I don't think it was exactly this, but he effectively said, if we get Cunha next season, and we get another body in midfield, we'll be in the top 5 next season. And he said it with a complete straight face, and I was a little bit like, surely this is bait. Surely this is bait. This has to be bait. Splen D. Talca, are you showing the live match? No, I can't show the live match. We're not allowed to show the live match because the channel would get banned. Daniel, are you that rich? You just throw some cash at the barber not knowing the price? No, I am absolutely not rich. But I think I paid him 20 quid. I can't remember if he gave me change yesterday. But I couldn't tell you the price. And the reason I do that is because he's a good guy. And he looks after us. Gianluca and Maxi, no, you can't show the live match. You cannot show the live match. Just to be very, very clear, if I show the live match, the channel gets banned. So I can't show the live match. By all means, drift on and go and find somewhere else that does. We'll be doing a watch-along here. If that's your thing, stick around. If not, then sin a bit. Jaden, I'm back. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. The players are in the tunnel now. Sanchez and Pickford near the front. Daniel, score prediction. Chelsea 2-1. Maybe 2-0. But I think Chelsea will get the win. I hope they don't, but I think they will. Jaden, what's your predictions for all the watch-along matches today? 2-0 here. 4-0 Newcastle and Ipswich. Palace to win on penalties against Villa. And Barcelona 3-1 against Real Madrid. That's the 4 watch-alongs today. That's my predictions. I'm going to stick with that. Daniel, Chelsea have got to be the most disgusting club. Oh, God. Why do you feel like that? Why do you think that, Daniel? Reese, I hate Chelsea fans more than Spurs fans. Christ, there's a lot of hate in the chat. No skill, Aaron. Are you watching the boxing? No, absolutely not. I'm going to be sticking to the football, and to be honest, mate, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. My voice is just about settling now, but I've got a pretty bad cough, and I'm feeling quite hoarse, so I may well not be able to make it through to the full night. I'm hoping I'll be able to get through those 4 watch-alongs and tomorrow's games, and then we'll see about Monday. Daniel, will you be following the other lunchtime kickoffs? Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely, I've got them all live. So as soon as there's goals going in, I will let you know, especially in those big championship games. The QPR Burnley game, not so much, but we will keep you updated on that. But particularly the game at Kenilworth Road, the Luton against Coventry game, that's absolutely massive for both teams. Can Luton stay up, or are they going to get back-to-back relegations? Coventry, can they arrest this well, maybe not a slide. I know it's only one defeat, but it was such a bad performance against Plymouth. You know, Frank Lampard has to turn that around. No Skill Aaron, I hate Liverpools. You can't say that. Me and you get on all right, don't we? We're all right, me and you. We're good. I think you quite like us, actually. Alex, who do you think will win today, Villa or Palace? I think it's going to be a very tight game. I still think it's going to go to... I'm going to sit on the fence. I think it's going to go to penalties, extra time and pens, and I think Palace take it. I think Palace take it on pens. Hi, what do you think of Trent leaving? Gutted. Gutted. There's no other word for it. I'm gutted. I wish he stayed. I wish he changed his mind, but what can we do? It is what it is. He wants to go to Madrid. I think he's making a mistake. I think he'll go to Madrid and it won't be what he's hoping for. We've seen that before with players. And I don't think it's going to be the Madrid that he's anticipating. So they need a big turnaround there as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how it pans out for him. I hope I'm wrong, but I'd like to see him do a big announcement at the end of the season, maybe at the trophy lift. Get on the mic like Klopp did and just go, I'm not fucking leaving. Like Wolf of Wall Street. That's what I'm hoping for. Blurry, no way Palace is winning on penalties when Martinez is there. Have you watched Martinez recently? Martinez has been shocking recently for Villa. He's had an absolute stinker. They might not get that. It might not be even penalties. It might be that Palace do them in real time. Daniel Khan, prediction for Chelsea. I'm saying 1-1. Okay, well, we're coming up to kick-off now. You might well be. Daniel sold off their academy for dross mercenaries on death row contracts. Crikey. Okay. If you buy 2 billion, at least buy some superstars and make it entertaining. Alex followed the host. Thank you for the follow, Alex. Apologies in advance for the coughing that will occur throughout the live today. Daniel, does it hurt that Trent is leaving for less money? Well, he's leaving for no money, isn't he? Does it hurt? I don't know if it hurts. Not sure if I'd say it hurts. But, right, we're off. We're off and underway here. Right, I'm going to have to change that background, by the way. Because Everton are not playing in that colour. There you go. That's a little bit better. We're a little bit on course now with what it actually looks like. Right, so... Abuba, thank you for the follow. Daniel, I meant his wages. Yes, sorry, his wages. I think that might be alright if we get... obviously, his wages back to spend on other players. It's just sad that he's going. It's really sad that he's going. I wish he stayed. But what can we do? What can we do about that? Watership Allen. I love that username, by the way. If Trent goes, he goes. Bradley is a new breed of athletic freak who'll run for 90 minutes. Who do you think we bring in to replace him, by the way? Do you think we go older? Do you think we bring in someone who could, like a Kimmich maybe? I know it's not maybe Kimmich anymore, but that was kind of who I was looking at. Someone to come in who could help bring Bradley through. Or do you think we go out and buy a Frimpong or someone like that who is maybe a touch younger, who could be a more like-for-like replacement for Trent? But that kind of knocks Bradley down then, doesn't it? If we think Bradley is as good as we all know he can be, which I think he could replace Trent, but it might not be just yet. It might not be right now. We can't throw him straight in. I think we might be better off going getting a good solid backup, maybe a slightly more experienced older player, maybe like Daniel Munoz at Palace. I know he's not necessarily too old. He's maybe 28, 29. Yeah, I think that might be a better fit than going getting someone stupidly young that then tells Bradley, look, you're never ever going to play anymore. Good play there from Illiman and Dye, getting it back to Pickford. Brett, and we are back up the Sky Blues. Let's see how we get on today with Palace, with Luton and Coventry, by the way. That one is underway. We're first 5 minutes there. Watership Alan, thanks for the follow, mate. Reese, that Everton away kit is awful. Yeah, it's not great. Chelsea have just robbed it there from Nathan Patterson. And really good defending by Patterson, actually, to get it back. Oh, no, it was Gay. It was Idrissa Gay who won it back. Really smart there. Really, really smart. Blairy, the manager of Everton, said it was a bad idea for the contract of Van Dijk. What do you think? He was joking, Blairy. He was joking. He had a laugh. He said that was a really bad idea, didn't he? But he was joking. He didn't believe that at all. It was sarcasm, wasn't it? Daniel, how long have you been doing watch-alongs? January. Started in January, so literally, 3, 4, into the 4th month now. So still very, very new to it all, mate. Jay, have you heard about KDB to Villa? That'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? I'd love KDB to stay in the Prem. Jaden, it says I need to upgrade my subscription to watch the Chelsea match. What, on TNT? I don't know why. I assume so, yeah. If you've not got it, you've not got it, mate. But yeah, it is on TNT Sports now. Corin, just tested watching it on YouTube. Pretty much the same. It is, yeah. It's exactly the same. Brett, something new. Just had it going a couple of weeks, mate, but he has a YouTube account as well. Corin, just need to get an account so I can comment. Yep. Samo Lee, please, how can some watch this live, Chelsea versus Everton? You'd have to watch it on TNT Sports, mate, or I don't know where you are in the world. But yeah, you can watch it live on TNT Sports. Love and Lean, or Leon and Lean, sorry. Leon and Leon. Leon and Lean. Sorry, got that completely wrong. Leon and Lean. Thank you for the follow, mate. Long ball forward. Whoa, Robert Sanchez, what are you doing? Whoa! He came out to claim that and he got it all wrong. He tried to get arms round. He was almost claiming it while hugging Beto there. That was an odd move from him. Yeah, he didn't get that right at all. Did not get that right at all. GG 5 times in it. Where can I watch the game, mate? I have no idea, buddy. You can watch it on TNT. That's where I'm watching it now. Blairy, Virgil van Dijk and Kanate are the best centre-back duos in the world right now. Yeah, I would agree with that. Willis, anyone got a free link? Robert Sanchez is as bad as Andre Onana. Do you think so? He's not started well there. Chelsea are just knocking it around nicely at the back. Oh, and they've passed it out straight for a corner. Lavia. Oh no, it was Chalobah, sorry. Chalobah passing it straight out for a corner. Unlucky. Wills ain't paying 31 quid. You can watch. I'll tell you what's going on. If you want to stick here, if not, then yeah, you're gonna have to find some other way, buddy. Down the left hand side for Nicholas Jackson. He's up against Jake O'Brien here. Corin, is Lavia playing? Yes, he is playing. He's playing alongside Enzo in the middle with Caicedo dropping into more of a right-back position, I'm led to believe. Sir Medul followed the host. Thank you for the follow, mate. Cobra, thank you for the follow as well. Cheers for that. Brett Grant, Sky Blue Army, play up Sky Blues. Do we think that Coventry can get a result against Luton? Still 0-0 there. Luton look to have started the better, actually. Couple of early shots for Luton. Blurry, no way they put Caicedo in the left-back position. No, Cucurella is at left-back. Cucurella is at left-back. Caicedo is at right-back. Lavia's in midfield with Enzo Fernandez. Brett, did you hear about Luton having a fire at their ground last night? I didn't know. I didn't. It's a mad ground, isn't it, Kenilworth Road? Great ball down the right-hand side. Good claim by Jordan Pickford. It was, I think it was Neto who was running on the overlap. Yeah, Neto on the right-hand side. Seems those two have switched sides already, by the way. Madueke was to start on the right with Neto on the left, and it looks like they've already transitioned over. Maybe Neto feels like he can get a bit more change out of Mikalenko, and Madueke feels like he can get more out of Nathan Patterson, but there's a couple of changes there already in the early part of the game. Corin, do you rate Lavia? I thought he was brilliant at Southampton. I think he made the wrong decision going to Chelsea. And of course, as a Liverpool fan, I'm going to say that because we went in for him. I think he should have come to Liverpool. Yeah, I think he should have come to Liverpool because he hasn't got a kick at Chelsea. I know his fitness has been in question, but for whatever reason, his career is completely stalled for the last 12 months or so. And as a young player, he's still got time, of course, but I thought when he was at Southampton, he was brilliant. He would have been perfect for Liverpool to come in. And he might have had a league winners medal, maybe more, who knows. But, yeah, it's not been a particularly fruitful start to his Chelsea career. Bryn, love our kit today, one of the nicest I've seen. Good to see you, Bryn. There's been actually some criticism in the chat about Everton's kit. I don't mind it. I think it's quite smart. Different colours, isn't it? The navy, sort of dark navy and mustard colour, would we call that? It's better than the pink anyway. It's definitely better than the pink. Brett, I thought the game was going to be cancelled. Chelsea are in here. Oh, really, really good defending there. Covering from, you guessed, oh no, it wasn't Jared Branthwaite. It was James Garner. James Garner covering, dropping in to pick up Cole Palmer there. And that is wonderful pressing there from Idrissa Gana Gueye. And even better from Enzo Fernandez. Cleared up the pitch by Chelsea. This has been a really fast and fiery start to this one, actually. Really, really good play. Yeah, really, really good. Lots of 50-50 battles early on. And no team really dominating, you'd have to say. I think Everton have picked up some good positions already. Opening sort of 10 minutes or so. Chelsea are winning the ball back high, though. Here's Nicholas Jackson. Chance. Oh, and Patterson puts it behind. It's going to be a corner kick to Chelsea. Whew. Bryn, it's black. It's not black, that. It's not black. It's like a navy charcoal colour, surely. Looks like a... Maybe I've got it wrong. Jaden, I'll be here for all watch-alongs. What a guy. Cheers, Jaden. Last night, firemen there for a couple of hours. Something to do with the laundrette. The laundrette in the ground. Great ball in. It's gone behind. Another corner to Chelsea. Patterson again putting it behind. Brain it is. I've got it. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Burnley have scored. It's 1-0 Burnley at QPR. And Coventry have had a man sent off. Jay Da Silva, the defender, has had he's had an absolute mare. It's a red card for Coventry at Luton. Oh my God. Coventry are going to throw this away, aren't they? Coventry are going to throw this away. Burnley winning, though, to go top as it stands. Corner from Chelsea. Cleared away by Branthwaite. Out to the edge of the area. And Caicedo's going to send it all the way back, it looks like, to the goalkeeper. Yeah, all the way back. Brett, Google it. I'm not joking. Right, okay. Hey, listen, I don't disbelieve you, mate. Chelsea flying forward here, good ball in. Oh, just a bit too high there for Madueke at the back post. Bryn normally goes with black shorts and socks, mate. All right, okay. So where's the yellow shorts come from? I would have thought the yellow... I actually think that's a better kit with the yellow shorts, yellow shorts and the black socks with that piping. Where's that yellow shorts come from? Are they part of the goalkeeper kit, maybe? Reese was a dog so. Oh, denial of a goal scoring opportunity. Last man type of thing. Oh, well, there you go. That's big news there from the Championship. Luton 0, Coventry 0 still, of course, but Coventry having Jay Da Silva, one of their better defenders, you'd have to say, since signing from Bristol City. Jay Da Silva sent off for Coventry. How does that impact that game at Kenilworth Road now? That's certainly a big plus for Luton. If they can get the win there, they'll take themselves 2, maybe even 3 points clear. Oh, great save. Great save. Who was that who cut in on the right-hand side? I think it was Madueke. He cut in, drifted in from the right-hand side, gets to the edge of the area. I'll be honest, I don't think Jake O'Brien covers himself in glory here. He's got to get a block on that. He's too standoffish. And he allows Madueke to have a clear shot on goal. And he wraps his foot around it. I don't think that's good enough from O'Brien, but he gets a shot away. Pickford's not happy. Pickford pushes it behind. Another corner to Chelsea. 14 minutes in. Cleared away by Everton. Here's Illiman and Dye. Good ball forward to Idrissa Gana Gueye. Bit too heavy. Blairy, I've booked a ticket for the Liverpool versus Tottenham game to see Liverpool win the league. Good man. Good man. Enjoy that. It'll be a cracking game. And a big occasion, obviously. Just try and stay off the pitch. Corin just looked at the table, and Villa really aren't out of it like I thought they were. No, they're not. They're certainly not out of it. But they're just going to need a couple of results to go their way, and they can't afford to slip up again. Bryn, going to miss Tarks, mate. Yeah, Tarks is going to be a huge loss. I think O'Brien has done really well, though, hasn't he? O'Brien has certainly picked up since Moyes has come in, because he was going nowhere under Dyche. It was a bit of a weird signing, O'Brien. Seemed to me at the time, I think I said that, it seemed like almost, because John Textor was buying Everton, wasn't he, and he owned Leon. It seemed like do you know what, we'll give you, because obviously he was linked with Ernest Nuama as well, another Leon player. So it seemed like there was maybe a bit of an affiliate thing going on there. We'll give you Jake O'Brien, we'll give you a Nuama, and then I'll buy Everton. Because Leon are skint, aren't they, I believe. So it seemed a bit of that, and maybe he wasn't the player that Dyche actually wanted. It was kind of foisted upon him. That's why he wasn't playing him. But Moyes has come in, and he seems to have had a bit of a rejuvenation, hasn't he? He's recovered. He seems to have done quite well. Jake, click the treasure box in the top left for 3 coins. Thanks for sending that through, Jake. Appreciate that. Corin, Nicholas Jackson once again started the season well and has fallen off midway through. Chelsea need a centre-forward. They do. They need a centre-forward. They need a goalkeeper. I think the midfield's fine. I think the wingers are fine, broadly speaking. I think Sancho, Madueke, Neto, Palmer can play out there, but those wings are okay. I think Tyreek George has been a good find from them for the academy. So yeah, I think Chelsea's wingers are fine, but they do need a centre forward. They do need a goalkeeper. They probably need a centre back as well. There was rumours they were sniffing around Virgil van Dijk. Bryn, right back, he's fine. Yeah, at right back he's done well. At centre back today, we did talk about this before the game, before kick-off. I did have just whether or not he's a good fit there alongside Branthwaite, especially with Patterson on the other side. Patterson's never really kicked on at Everton, has he? There's a player down here for Everton. Looks like he should be okay. Is it Mikolenko? It is Mikolenko, yeah. I think he's going to be alright. He's limping, but he's okay. Blairy, my brain is saying go take a photo with Virgil van Dijk in the field. No, mate, stay off the field. Trust me, it's not worth it. Stay off the field. You can get a photo of Van Dijk. Wait outside the ground after the game, or maybe even get to the ground early. You'll sometimes see them come in that way. I know they tend to go in through the tunnel now, but you can sometimes catch a few players that way, depending on what the situation is with transport and all that. Actually, no, tomorrow it won't. Will be. They'll always drive in that way. But you can take photos with Virgil van Dijk another time. Don't run on the pitch. Nightmare. Unknown. This game is 0-0 all over it. I don't know. I think Everton have. Yeah, it is a little bit scrappy. Everton haven't been good in the last 5 minutes. They started all right. They seem to be getting forward a little bit. But it's all Chelsea now. It's all Chelsea here. Corin, I don't really rate Madueke. He's all right. He's not terrible. I just don't think he's maybe the player that Chelsea need. But he's still young, isn't he? Still young. Still a bit of developing to do with him. Unknown, obviously going to be a pitch invasion. It's so obvious. Yeah, I think there will be. I just hope that there isn't. We can do that maybe at the end of the season or whatever. I'm sure it will happen. Of course it's going to happen. Yeah. Kind of hope it doesn't. Muna Guerra followed the host. Thank you. Diren99, thank you for following. Corin, he's had some injury problems as well. Yeah, he has, Madueke. He's not really shown his PSV form either. QPR 0, Burnley 2. Looks like that one's going to be a pretty straightforward one for Burnley. I think I stayed away from the Luton Coventry one for obvious reasons. It didn't seem to me to be an easy game for either of those two, so I've not put anything on that one. It's Fleming who scored for Burnley. Everton just having a little spell of possession here. This is probably the first time they've actually been able to get the foot on the ball in the opening 20 minutes. String maybe 5 to 10 passes together before Chelsea win it back. So they're just passing it around at the back here, Everton. They do need to keep hold of it, and then they've knocked it long and given it away, and Chelsea win it back. Corin, Burnley to win the league. Yeah, I do think Burnley are going to win the league, and that's predicated on the fact that I also think that Plymouth get a win today against Preston at Deepdale. I think Plymouth get a win against Preston, and then they go into the last game of the season at home park, needing to beat Leeds to stay up. And I'd love that. I would love that for Plymouth. Obviously, if they draw against Preston today, then it's done. It's game over. Cole Palmer hasn't had much of an influence on this game just yet. Corin, I want Plymouth and Luton to stay up. Yeah, very much so. That's much, much better from Chelsea. Still a little bit pedestrian though. Everton holding their shape. Corin, I want Plymouth and Luton to stay up. I think Cardiff are the only one I'd nail my flag to the mast and say they're definitely going down. Everyone else, there's an outside chance they could stay up. Beto getting wrestled with by is it Levi Colwill? But Branthwaite and Jake O'Brien have been very, very solid at the back. Apart from that one moment where O'Brien kind of lets Madueke get a shot away. Other than that, I think the pair have been quite solid there. They've done well. Even Nathan Patterson at right back, to be honest. Chelsea haven't done enough today. So, looking at this Chelsea team then, we have... one second. Who have we got actually on the bench for Chelsea today? I'm just thinking about players who could come on and potentially influence the game for both of these teams. So for Everton, if they did need a goal, they can bring on the likes of Alcaraz. Chimiti is on the bench. Dwight McNeil. Maybe Ashley Young as well to settle things down. They also have Michael Keane, Irabunum, Coleman, and Begovic, and João Virginia as well. Not that they'll need 2 goalkeepers, I'm sure, but they've got a few players there that can maybe come on and change things. For Chelsea, it's Sancho, it's Nkunku, and they could bring on maybe Reece James as well in a midfield position. Tyreek George and Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall as well. Both of those have all played all right in the recent games, haven't they? Everton driving forward here. Iliman Ndiaye, good ball out wide to Patterson. Stands it up. Beto with a chance. Ooh, and big challenge. Important challenge there from Chalobah at the back stick. Because I tell you what, Beto had a chance there. Beto had a very big chance at the back post. If not for Chalobah getting a flick on, it might have been 1-0 Everton. Really good play by Beto and Ndiaye, linking together. Sends it out to the far side for Patterson. Patterson just stands it up. And a really important touch at the back post for Chalobah to get it away from Beto, who would have had a free header on goal 6 yards out. Much better there from Everton. First time we've seen him get forward in any sort of meaningful way. Who's the sort of signings? Again, I don't know how many people have we got watching in the TikTok at the minute. In the TikTok seems to be the busiest at the moment or recently. Let me know, in terms of Everton fans, how many Everton fans have we got in? Right, we've got over 100 people just on TikTok. We've got a few hundred elsewhere. Let me know in the chat, what sort of strikers do you think Everton should be targeting this summer? Because it seems to be a really critical position for the club. Calvert-Lewin going, maybe. Is he going? I would assume so. His contract's running down. He isn't really playing. His fitness hasn't been at the best. So you would assume that Calvert-Lewin's going to move on. You would also assume that Breuer is going to go back to Chelsea. He hasn't really made that position his own. Chimiti is on the bench and he's not really got too many opportunities. Beto, again, has had a little bit of a purple patch, but is he the right centre-forward for Everton next season? It feels like a centre-forward coming in is critical for Everton and David Moyes next season. So, you know, who's the sort of profile, who's the sort of striker that we think Everton should be targeting? Realistically, obviously, let's bear that in mind. Realistically, who do you think Everton could go out and get in the summer? Ball in from Chelsea, cleared away by Pickford. Cucurella, chance for Chelsea. There's a claim for a handball. No, it's gone for a corner. Is it a corner? No, not having it. Not having it. It was a free kick, and I think there might have been an offside anyway. Pickford came out, didn't get a great touch on it. And I think Cucurella there, he was 12 yards out with a volley on his left foot, his favoured foot as well. That should have been a corner, I think. It did come off Iliman Ndiaye in the end, but he hits it wide. Hits it wide. A couple of shouts for Delap in the chat. Let's have a quick look on YouTube. Yeah, a couple of shouts for Delap. I think, do we think Delap's realistic for Everton? With bearing in mind the buyout fee and the other teams that are interested in him, do you think that, oh, this is a big chance. Everton have just give it away and it's 1-0. Oh, it's a brilliant finish from Nicholas Jackson, but it's all come from Everton's own doing that. That's all come from Everton's own doing. Really poor. Why have I put Everton have scored? They've not scored. It's Chelsea. It's 1-0 Chelsea. Clicked on the wrong thing, but it's Chelsea 1, Everton 0. Nicholas Jackson drills it in the bottom corner. Oh, that was such a piece of... That was poor. That was really poor from Everton. Really poor. Pickford is fuming. You can see him saying, he's I think, I'm not an expert at lip reading, but he has just said 4 times. 4 times. I think it was Beto here. Yeah, it's Beto. That's not good enough from the centre-forward. And we're just as we're talking about centre-forwards, Just as we're talking about centre forwards, that happens. Your man Beto picks it up. He hasn't got. He's got blinkers on. He's got blinkers on. He can't see either side of him. He doesn't see Chalobah coming round the side. Chalobah pinches it from him and puts Everton right in a dangerous position because they've split the centre halves. They've split the full-backs. They're playing high. They're expecting their centre forward to hold it up. And he doesn't. He doesn't. He gives it away right in the middle of the position, right in the middle of the pitch. Loses the ball. Quick pass into the feet of Nicholas Jackson, who opens his body up and from the edge of the box drills it into the bottom corner. Really good finish from Nicholas Jackson. Really, really good finish from him. But you have to question Everton there and Beto. Not a good goal to give away, that one. Not a good goal at all. But there you go, 1-0. Nicholas Jackson's very, very pleased with himself, and that's a big goal at the top end of the table. Where does that take us? Burnley have scored a third now. It's 3-0. Fleming again. That takes Chelsea up to 4th now. 4th. Level on points with Nottingham Forest, albeit Forest have a game in hand. Newcastle can go back above them if they beat Ipswich. But as it stands, it looks like Forest and Villa, the two teams who are playing in the Cup this weekend, and with games in hand on the teams above them, they're going to be occupying positions 5 and 6. Oh, sorry, 6 and 7. After this weekend's fixtures, it looks like. Jake Pickford's always fuming. He is always fuming, isn't he? He always has a bit of a whinge. But that's what you kind of expect from your goalkeeper, let's be honest. Bring Chimiti on. Oh, Bryn's not happy. Bryn is not happy. Everton fans, I think quite rightly, that was poor from Beto. You've got to expect better from your centre forward there. That's, schoolboy stuff. Can't blame him. Villa and Forest are the teams I want to get Champions League. Ball into the box from Chelsea. Pickford claims it easy. And this is it now. That's a really interesting point. 30 minutes on the clock, there or thereabouts. Chelsea 1-0 up. With an hour to go at Stamford Bridge, you're going to have to expect now that David Moyes makes some sort of an attacking change. What can he do to push the team forward and start causing Chelsea some real problems? They're going to have to go and get something here. They're going to have, they don't have to get something. They're going to have to show a bit more. You might as well lose 3 or 4-0 than lose 1-0 and take no chances. And I would hope Moyes pushes his team forward a little bit more now. That's a foul. It's a play on there from the ref. Out wide to Decore. Throw-in for Everton. DJ Chef 14. This is so winnable for us. Are you an Everton fan, DJ? Bryn, Chimiti is very good, mate. Just hasn't had a chance. Yeah, and he's put on a bit of muscle, hasn't he? He seems to have changed his frame. He's put a lot of work in the gym. A lot of people were saying to me, looks a different type of animal to the one that we saw when he first arrived at Everton. He was a little bit narrow, wasn't he? But he's a big lad. He's a big lad, and if you're looking for the centre forward to hold things up and maybe create a bit more, maybe he's a better option than Beto. I think, I actually think Everton have got nothing to lose by chucking Chimiti in to the end of the season, because it feels like, and again, maybe I'm wrong, I'm a Liverpool fan, maybe I'm not as close to this as Everton fans, and I'm certainly not as emotionally invested in it as Everton fans, but it feels to me that the decision has kind of already been made on Brozier, Calvert-Lewin and Beto. They're not going to be the centre forward that Everton need. They're not the centre forward Everton need. Chimiti, the jury's out. So why wouldn't you just play him to the end of the season? There's nothing left. Everton are safe. Nothing's going to happen. Just play him. See what happens. Give him the next 4 games or whatever it is and see what happens. That just to me seems like a reasonable thing to do. Maybe in the summer. And you know what? If he's dreadful in those 4 games and he's absolutely miles off it, then you say, all right, fine. Well, we definitely need to go and get at least one because he's not right either. Maybe he needs a bit more time, or maybe we cash our chips on him as well. He was 12 million quid thereabouts, wasn't he? I don't know. That's just what it seems like to me. That just seems like what it is to me. But it feels a little bit redundant playing Breuer and Breuer and Beto when we know that they're not going to be the team, the players that Everton want next summer. It's a bit of head tennis here in the penalty area. Good play by Chelsea to keep hold of it. Shot from distance. Great block by Branthwaite there. He took that one full in the face. Good ball in. Cleared away again. Garner, Branthwaite, it's just all chaos here at the back for Everton. There's no chill. There's no calm. Chelsea putting it back in. They're keeping the pressure on. They might yet get a second here. Good defending by Nathan Patterson. Puts it out for the throw-in. Corin Branthwaite is some player. Yeah, he's a good player, Jared Branthwaite. I think he's not going to be an Everton player, though, by the end of the summer. I know that there's Everton fans wouldn't like to hear that. And quite rightly, because he's a wonderful centre-back. But he's your biggest asset. And I think he wanted to go last summer, didn't he? He wanted to go to wherever it was, United, and they'd apparently agreed personal terms and all that sort of thing, and then the clubs couldn't agree the fee. So I think, yeah, he probably wanted to go last summer, stayed because it wasn't right for the club, stayed one more year, and I imagine that this is the summer where he actually does go. I can't see him staying. It's just whether or not Everton can get what they want for him, and I don't think it's going to be as high a fee as perhaps they're expecting. 60 million maybe, 50, 60 million. I mean, Liverpool are going to maybe sign Dean Hyson from Bournemouth, and I think the fee for that's going to be about 40. And Branthwaite's very, very good, but I'm not sure that he's 10, 15, 20 million more than Hyson. That's the question mark, isn't it? Bryn, he's a right unit, Branthwaite. Yeah, he's 6'5" or 6'6". Big lad. Big lad. Wins everything in the air. The only question mark about Jared Branthwaite is whether or not he can play, play out from the back maybe in the way that the way that the top teams tend to do nowadays. They play with split centre-backs and, your full-backs high, and that means that you rely an awful lot on... Your centre-backs these days have more of the ball than your central midfielders often. They start the attacks. They have to do those long diagonals like we see Van Dijk do. They have to be able to maybe run into the space in midfield, as we see, as I used to love Joel Matip doing for Liverpool. They have to be very, very tidy on the ball. That is an expectation of modern centre-backs. And while Hyson certainly can do that at Bournemouth, I think with jury's out on that aspect of Branthwaite's game. Aerially, as a box defender, he's wonderful. He's maybe one of the best, Jared Branthwaite. But when he's on the ball to his feet, under pressure, not sure. Not bad, not terrible, not dreadful, just not elite. And that's the question mark. That's the only question mark. Bryn, John Stones was great playing out from the back. Yeah, see, that's it. John Stones is your modern day centre back. He was brilliant, and he went for, what was it, 50 million quid to City, and maybe with inflation, that's probably about what Branthwaite goes for, about 50, thereabouts. Jake, there's several clubs after Hyson. Yeah, lots of clubs want him. Unsurprisingly, very, very talented centre back. He's said that Virgil van Dijk is his hero. So, we've got to cash in on that. We've got it. Liverpool, if we are looking for a centre-back this summer, we have to go and get him. He's so good. I'd love us to go and get him. Corin, did you like Tia? He reminds me a lot of Agger. He reminds me a lot of Daniel Agger, Hyson. Corin, did you like Thiago at Liverpool? Loved him. Was one of my favourite Liverpool midfielders when he was on form. The problem with Thiago, he was just always injured. But he was a wonderful player. Really, really good player. Still 0-0 in that Luton-Coventry game, by the way. Still 0-0. Coventry having a man sent off after about 10-15 minutes. Jay Da Silva for a last man denial of a goal-scoring tackle. Goal-scoring tackle? Goal-scoring opportunity. Jake Curtin, Chelsea journalist, reporting he's in advanced talks with Chelsea. Mate, Chelsea journals, I mean, Chelsea want to sign everyone. I can't think. If I was a player now in the modern game and I had loads of clubs at my door, offering, wanting to sign me, and Chelsea was one, Chelsea would be bottom of that list. Maybe after Manchester United. Absolute car crash of a club. Absolute car crash of a club. It's baffling why anyone would go there. Corin, where is he now? Anyways, Hyson. You know about Hyson? He's at Bournemouth. NW Transport, what do you think about Celtic? Well, they've not really had much competition, have they, in the SPL this year? It's been a mixed bag. Oh, Robert Sanchez. Oh, Mikalenko and Sanchez clattering into each other, but I think that was down to Sanchez. Sanchez came out to try and claim the ball. That's horrendous from Robert Sanchez again. He's just an absolute disaster waiting to happen. Thiago's retired now, Corin. Yeah, he's retired. Sanchez is going to need some treatment here. I don't know why. Do you know what? He dropped that. He had dropped that. There's a ball that's coming. It's landing in the penalty area. Sanchez is coming out. He's got his all eyes on the ball. Mikalenko's running in. He's got his eyes on the ball. And Sanchez is like this. And as he gets the hold of the ball, he catches it. Mikalenko's about here. And he drops it. And then Mikalenko smashes into him and they both go down. They're both injured. They're both on the deck getting treatment as it stands. But Sanchez had dropped that ball before Mikalenko hit him. Thiago and Matip have retired. Coming back to Celtic, I just think, personally, mate, I think Celtic, how far ahead have they finished ahead of Rangers this year? It's like 15 points. It's not been a good SPL this year. It's really not been a good SPL. I think, you've got some talented players at Celtic. I think Maeda's a decent player. But I'm not sure that Chelsea are... Sorry, I'm not sure that Celtic are the quality of... I can't expect them to go far in the Champions League next season. I think they need a lot of work. Caleb, Ben or Eubank? I want Ben. Not going to watch it, mate. I've no real interest in it. I don't really do much on boxing. Don't follow too much boxing. And when I do, it's usually the very occasional fight that kind of I'm interested in. And I've seen the build up to Ben and Eubank, and it doesn't really interest me. Brinnar. Everton signed Dallas Mavericks coach onto the board in the week. Hope he can teach him how to pass. Oh, there you go. Bit of a hug there between Sanchez and Mikalenko. Corin, do you think Isak will leave? I think if Newcastle don't get the Champions League, then he will, yeah. If he doesn't get Champions League football next season, then he'll probably be putting a transfer request in and maybe looking to move on. And who could blame him? He's a top player. You can't have a player like... It's almost impossible to keep a player like that while not being at the top level of the game. You need to have Champions League football to sustain them. So, I expect that Isak will go. Yeah. If Newcastle obviously don't get top 5. But to be honest, I think Newcastle will get top 5. So if you're asking me right now, do I think he'll go? Probably no, because I think Newcastle will get the Champions League. But if they don't, then it could get interesting. Jake, we pretty much have Champions League in the bag, but I almost don't want it to prove he would still stay. Why do you think he would stay, Jake? Why do you think he would stay? This is the real question. Why do you think that Isak has got any more loyalty to the club, to Newcastle, than he had to Sociedad or Dortmund? You're just another club. You had just another club to him. I'm sure he likes and enjoys the relationship with the fans. He's won, he's had a good time there and all that, but ultimately you're his employer. And that is the functional relationship with Isak, and a lot of players nowadays with clubs. I'm sure they have a special relationship, but when you're not winning things at a club, or you're not at the top level with a club, which he wouldn't be if Newcastle weren't in the Champions League, I can't see him staying. He's no reason to stay. You're You're not fulfilling your end of the bargain by not giving him Champions League football. He signed for Newcastle expecting ambition and competition at the top level. If you don't give him that, then you failed to deliver that. He hasn't. That's why I think he would go. But if you do, then he'll stay. Yeah, of course he'll stay. Sure he'll stay. Corin, I think he'll go either way. I think if Newcastle get Champions League football, he'll be too expensive for teams. He'll be far, far too expensive for teams. Newcastle won't have justification to sell him. They can demand 150 million quid for him if they're in the Champions League and no one's paying that. But if they aren't in the Champions League, then Isak can be like, look, transfer request. And at that point, Newcastle have to sell him, don't they? They have to come to the negotiations table. They have to have a discussion because they've got an unhappy player. And no club wants to keep an unhappy player. So then it's like, well, let's have a conversation. What can we get for him? What's reasonable? And at that point, maybe it is 100 million. And they get 100 million for him and they move on. Chelsea are playing really well here. It's come out to the left-hand side for Enzo Fernandez. Jake O'Brien has stood him up. Jake, playing his best football in his life. The project Newcastle have isn't boring. No, it isn't boring. It isn't boring at all. Newcastle have got a very good project, but I think it's also fair to say that your project's time frame, if you haven't got in the Champions League next season, which, just to be absolutely clear, I think you will, but if you don't, then the time frame doesn't fit Isak's. Isak is, what, 25, 26? You're a long time retired as a player, right? He's got 3-4 seasons. Oh, Everton have got a chance here. Mikalenko. Oh, and he gets the cross all wrong. Great little crossfield ball that by, I think it was Jack Harrison, actually. Sent it to the far side. Mikalenko in the penalty area. Oh, this is unbelievable by Neto. Oh, and he's done him. Oh, and Branthwaite wins it back. Good defending by Jared Branthwaite. Better from Everton. Much, much better as we're approaching half-time. Yeah, sorry. I don't think it is going to be an It's not a boring project at Newcastle, and yes, he's playing good football, but there's better projects elsewhere. I think that's the problem that Newcastle would have. Decore getting into the box there. It's gone behind. Goal kick to Chelsea. Jake, 3 years left on his deal too. He's not unhappy. European football either way, and I think if you add 3 or 4 players to this, in which we do this summer, we might be challenging. You can't have a player like Isak in the Europa League. You can't have a player like Isak in the Europa League. Not when you've not had Champions League football this season either. So he stayed. He was a great player last season, wasn't he? And he stayed with no Champions League football this year. And if he's got no Champions League football next year, I think that'll be really interesting. You're saying he's not happy, but I think he would be unhappy at that point. At that point, he would have Champions League clubs knocking on his door, and the best of them as well. You know, your Bayerns, your Liverpools, maybe your Arsenals, maybe your Real Madrids, maybe Barcelona. Lewandowski might be moving on. You know, there's all sorts of clubs would be interested in Isak for circa 100 million this summer, and they'll be talking to his agents. Absolutely, they will. And I think if he hasn't got Champions League football next season, he moved on from Sociedad, he moved on from Dortmund, he will move on from Newcastle. He has no loyalty to the club beyond. He's enjoyed his time there. Isak is a Champions League player, says Corin. Jake, I think Newcastle also want to make a statement first. They aren't easy to deal with selling star players. No, and I wouldn't expect Newcastle will be easy to deal with, but they will have to sell him. If you've got a player, player power rules these days, mate. Player power rules. If a player comes and says, I want to leave, I want to go and play Champions League football, Newcastle have to sell him. Have to. They don't have to sell him for any price, but they do have to sell him. They will sell him. They'll probably bluff and say he's not for sale. They'll keep doing that. And that's where there's a balancing act, because then players can come out and make statements and say, I've given a lot to the club. You know, imagine that circumstance this year. Imagine if this over the summer, Isak says, I feel like I've done a lot for the club. We won our first trophy, got the club back into the Champions League, or got the club into Europe. You know, I've contributed to that, and now I'd like to leave and move on. That happens. that sort of a statement dripping out from his agent or Isak himself, it'll happen. We've seen it play out. I've seen that play out thousands of times over the years, over the decades. It will happen again if indeed Isak decides he wants to leave. But this nonsense that he's going to stay at Newcastle out of some kind of misguided loyalty is also, I think that's naive, mate. I think that's very naive. These players are employees who temporarily wear our club shirt for an hour and a half a week. It's that. They've not got ties to the city. They've not got ties to, in a lot of cases, and the affinity that they have with the fans is it extends the length of a piece of paper. That's it. Liverpool legends here for 10 hours. I would take Isak any day. Good lad. You're sticking around for the full streams. I would take Isak any day. I would take Isak at Liverpool. Of course I would. I'd love him there, but only for the right price. Only for the right price. Jake, I do think if 150 plus is on the table, then I'd have worried, but it's not a certainty. It depends how Isak behaves as well. You've got to think of it like that. It depends how Isak behaves. And none of us know him. None of us know him. None of us know his agent. None of us know how he would react under pressure, let's say. If he's, if there's an opportunity to leave and there's a real opportunity for a Real Madrid or a Barca or a Liverpool or, a team who he can go to and win titles and maybe Champions Leagues, whoever that might be. That's a big offer for Isak. And it's immediate as well. He can be doing that next season. He's not staying at Newcastle for some project where maybe in 2 years' time or 3 years' time, when he's 29, then Newcastle are competing for Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues. That's not him. That's not him. He can do it now. He can go and win it now. Jake, just another player at Liverpool. He knows he's a legend at Newcastle. Loved hearing that. Yeah, but if he left Newcastle tomorrow, he'd still be a legend. If he left Newcastle tomorrow for Liverpool, he would be a legend at Newcastle. He's just won you the cup. He would be a legend at Newcastle no matter where he goes. But I would hope that Newcastle fans would acknowledge the fact that if he can't have Champions League, I think if I was a Newcastle fan, I would be disappointed if he left, if you got Champions League football. I would be disappointed at that. If you don't have Champions League football, I'd kind of hold my hands up and say, all right, fair enough. I get it. It's sad. I'm gutted. I don't want him to leave, but I get it. We had that many times at Liverpool. It was the exact same thing. We didn't have Champions League football for a number of players. We weren't close to challenging for titles. Coutinho, when Coutinho was going to Barcelona, he was going to the best team in the world to play with Messi, and it was just a case of, look, Klopp's just come in. There is a project here, but I'd love him to stay, but he's going to go to Barcelona. We'll get a big fee, and on your bike, off you go, mate. Jake, every interview he's done, he's brushing off the rumours, he's happy, mate. I don't, look, again, Jake, sure, mate, you seem like an intelligent guy. There's no way at all that it's absolutely PR. This is all played out in front of the cameras. It's absolute. It's kabuki theatre. That's what it's called. Kabuki theatre. It's basically a show for us, right? Him saying in an interview, I'm happy. It doesn't mean he is happy. Behind the scenes, I'm sure, him and his agents will have said to the club, listen, these are our expectations. We'd love the club to meet our demands in terms of ambition, Champions League, going signing top-level players, keeping top-level players at the club. We expect that Newcastle will help us beyond this. So our ambitions as for Alexander Isak is to win leagues, win Champions Leagues, and all that. We want you as a club to meet your end of the bargain by helping him achieve them here, right? But if we don't think that he can achieve them here immediately, and there's other club that can, we will do everything we can within our power to facilitate that happening. And that's where clubs and players fall out. Happens all the time. Players get things like back strains. That happened with Coutinho as well. Coutinho wanted to leave. He said in the press that he didn't want to leave. Liverpool said he's not for sale. and then he got a back strain. I think it was before the Watford game. He got a back strain. Back strain's notoriously difficult to diagnose, but he felt a little bit of pain. I feel a bit of pain, boss. You know what that means? I'm not playing. I'm not playing. There's other clubs, by the way, other players who've gone into clubs, into training, and ruined training sessions in order to force through moves. Like, they'll train with their teammates, and every time the ball comes to them, just boot the ball away. Just boot it away. And when the manager's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm training. Kicking, just kick the ball away. I'm telling you, it happens, mate. It absolutely happens. Jaden, NUFC have Europa qualification, even if we don't. Yeah, I know, but why do you think that Isak would be happy with Europa qualification? Jake, if Real Madrid come in, then yeah, but not another Prem team. Newcastle owners wouldn't allow it. He was telling all staff and owners and family and friends he's staying after the final at the box. But again, listen, all I'm saying is I think you might be, I might be wrong, but I think you might be in for a surprise. If you're taking that as gospel that he's going to stay, because a player said he's going to stay, you know, I'd just bear that in mind. Ben Luke, you're an Everton fan. 100. I'm not an Everton fan, I'm a Liverpool fan. What are you on about? I'm watching Everton. I'm actually hoping Everton will win here, but I'm not. I'm a Liverpool fan. Alfie, good to see you, mate. Good to see you back. Jake, Liverpool need more than Isak 250. That's pretty much end of your window. No, we'll get 150 just for the players we're selling, mate. Darwin's going. That'll be, I mean, Kwanzaa's probably going. Kelleher's probably got. That's probably 150 for those three. We'll have the money from Trent. Endo's going. Tsimikas is going. Harvey Elliott's going. I would imagine Jota's going. Diaz is certainly going. Chiesa's probably going. We've got loads. We've got absolutely loads. So we'll have no shortage of money. And by the way, Liverpool haven't spent a dime for about 3 windows running. So our FFP is like up here. So we could... We was bidding... You've got to remember, we was bidding 100 million plus for Caicedo, and we didn't get him. And then we didn't sign anyone else. So... We've had the money for a while, us. We've got cash. Liverpool can go and spend the cash if the players are there to do it. That's why I've been saying all summer I expect Liverpool to spend massive, and I think there'll be 10 to 12 players leaving the club and maybe 8 to 10 players coming in for different levels, right? And I think we'll spend an absolute fortune this summer. And that's why I also said I don't think Liverpool win the league next year. Reece Payet did it at West Ham because he wanted a bit... There you go, yep, Dimitri Payet. Absolutely right. Dimitri Payet did it. There's a number of them who've done it over the years. You can, and it's not just foreign players either. English players have done it. We've seen it happen all over the Premier League for years and years and years. Players forcing moves through, leaking rumours to journalists, saying one thing to the fans, doing another, getting back strains so they can't play games. Putting in poor performances as well. I remember, who was it? Mascherano. Mascherano got a back strain as well when he was Liverpool were in a pretty dark time, and I'm sure Mascherano got a back strain before Liverpool played Manchester City, and he got his move to Barcelona off the back of that. Once a player tells the club, I want to leave, the club have no option but to sell him. They've no option, because they're not going to keep an unhappy player who's going to keep getting back strains and keep kicking balls away in training. It isn't going to happen. Jake, but you only needed Caicedo then. You need half a start. Liverpool need half a starting 11. Where are you getting we need half a starting 11, mate? We're winning. We're 13 points clear in the league. We don't need half a starting 11. You definitely don't need half a starting 11. Reece, how much do you think you'll get for Kelleher? Probably about 35, maybe 40 at a push. He's one of the best young goalkeepers around. He's played at every level. He's won cups. We all know, I think everyone would agree, if you was to ask everyone in the Prem who's the best number 2 around, Quivine Kelleher. Every club that needs a goalkeeper this summer will be linked with him. Chelsea's one of them, to be honest. So I think there'll be a few clubs in for him. 35, 40 million, that feels about right. Given that Trafford in the Championship was going to go for about 25, 30, asking 40 for Kelleher feels fair. That feels fair to me. maybe even more. Liverpool tend to get really good, value for players. So, Jaden, do you think that Jacob Murphy will leave NUFC? No, I don't. No, I think Jacob Murphy will stick around. He's solid enough. He's not going to get the first team football that he has done recently. He's a reliable backup, isn't he, Jacob Murphy? But I can't see him getting any more than that. Jake, Newcastle is a big move though, and they wanted the move. Isak probably will next year, not this. But what? Okay, well, why would he move next year then? Answer me that. If you think he wouldn't move this year, but he would next, why would he move next year? What reason would he have for moving next year? Newcastle was a step up from Sociedad at the time. Yeah, absolutely. And still is. But why would he move next year? If you're giving him what he wants, which is to compete at the top level, do we realistically think that's going to happen? Do we think Newcastle can challenge for the Premier League and challenge for the Champions League inside the next 2 to 3 years? I don't. And I think that would be unrealistic to think so. Reece, Sol Campbell signed a new deal at Spurs, then moved to Arsenal a couple of months later. Oh yeah, we've seen that happen as well. Players signing new... Look at Cunha. Cunha only signed a new deal at Wolves. What was it, 3 months ago? He's on about going to United this summer. Aina, Raimi, thank you for the follow. Jake, Kirkes left back, Nunes, Diaz right, Trent right back, then that's 4 there. Left back, right back, left winger, striker, Liverpool replace. So that's not half. And I don't even think we're going to replace all of them. I think Jota might stay. And I don't think we're going to get a starting left back. So I still think Andy Robertson will be our starting left back. But if Kirkes comes in, he'll give him much more competition than Tsimikas, for example. Andy Robertson is still a very, very good left back. But I think we're talking maybe 3. Probably 3 to... maybe 4. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. But I would say 3 is probably going to come into the starting 11. And then we probably need another 5 or 6 as backup on the bench to cover for the players that are going to leave. Jake, because Newcastle have sold in the last 3 windows to not sell this summer and go again next year. But that's only based on the book value, isn't it? That's only based on FFP. It's not based at all on Newcastle being able to keep Isak. If Isak decides this summer, which I think will heavily be dependent on whether the club get Champions League football or not. If you finish in the top 5, it might be fine. He might stay. If you don't finish in that top 5, I am telling you, categorically, I think he goes. And I think he'll be quite vocal about it. If Newcastle don't facilitate, there might even be a gentleman's agreement behind closed doors, by the way. There might be a gentleman's agreement already that Newcastle say, look, we understand you want to leave, right? We understand that. Give us your best. Let's try and get the Champions League. If we get the Champions League, you stay with us. If you don't get the Champions League, then we'll play ball, right? We'll play ball with clubs and we'll get you your move. And that's the other thing as well. That is the other thing. I think Newcastle probably do want to keep Isak. Of course they do. But if a player tells you, I want to go, nothing you can do about it. You can't. You've just then you've got an unhappy asset at the club, and the bean counters upstairs, the financial people, the money men, they look at it and go, this guy, this thing here on this sheet, on this Excel sheet, is worth right now £100 million to us. If he doesn't play a game, and because he keeps getting back strains and he keeps ruining training sessions, his price is going to go down. Because clubs will know we have an unhappy asset at the club. So an unhappy asset at the club goes down in valuation. It's like buying a brand new car. As soon as you drive it off the show court, it drops 20-30%. C, Lavia is quite easily Chelsea's best midfielder, not Caicedo or Enzo Fernandez. That's interesting. Do we think so? Liverpool legends, we have all the money and more when we sell 8 to 10 players, and the fact that we've not sold or signed anyone really, so we've not signed anyone for God knows how long. Jake, new ownership wants to make a statement, selling star players isn't doing that. New ownership also have to operate in a way that supports them. It doesn't matter whether they're new ownership or not. Again, I think you're quite naive, mate. You're saying Isak is happy here at the minute. What's your evidence? What's your evidence to say that? He said it. He said he was happy. Right, okay then, well, he must be. He must be. If he said it, then he must be happy. He must be happy if that's how it is. Corin, I reckon we score at least 2 in this second half. And then straight after that, Scousel, Everton have been off the boil. We've been off the boil, us. Yeah, it's not been a great performance in that first half from Everton, but they are going to have to come out and do more, aren't they? They're going to have to do more to come out and show that they can turn this round. They're 1-0 down. It's just about to kick off for the second half, by the way. Jake, they don't want to make themselves weaker to make the Big Six better. They want to catch up. Then that might affect the price, but it won't affect whether or not they sell him. If he says, I want to go, and the only clubs making big offers are Liverpool and Arsenal, for example, if that's the case, then they will have to sell him to a Liverpool or an Arsenal, because they can't keep him at that point. They can't keep him, and they'll just have to get the best value that they can, and you know, sell up and move on. It just is what it is. Once a player decides that he's leaving, and this applies to all clubs, by the way, this isn't specific to Newcastle, it isn't specific to Isak and his situation. If a player decides he wants to leave, then that is it. That is it. Like, there's never... It's very unlikely it turns around. It always ends up... Maybe it's not even immediate, right? Maybe it's a ticking clock. Cunha decided that he wanted to leave Wolves. He started talking, didn't he, in the press that he wanted to leave Wolves. And not a lot of players are so vocal like that. They'll still maintain an outward appearance of, yeah, I want to stay. Of course I want to stay. Of course I want to stay. But actually, they want to leave. Bryn, Chelsea, nothing special. I would agree with that, Bryn. We're about to kick off here for the second half. We're about to kick off. Reece, Newcastle fans know they're cooked if Isak leaves. I don't think they are. If they go and get 100 million for Isak, it's off second half. If if Newcastle go and get 100 million for him, I think they could go and spend 20, 30 million per player and go and buy 2 or 3 players there that massively improves the team. Let's say they sold Isak and bought, I don't know, let's say they went and bought Branthwaite from Everton, and they went and bought Kelleher, and they bought Brian Mbeumo. For let's say Isak went for 110, 120, and they bought them 3. Kelleher and Mbeumo, Branthwaite. I think Newcastle are a better side because of that. That is a better team. Newcastle have got the better of that bargain. Liverpool or Arsenal, whoever it would be happy with Isak, and they would have got 3 top players off the back of it. That would make Newcastle better. Jake, all I'm saying is you heard it here first. Listen, I'm not sitting here saying that Isak will leave, just to be clear. I'm not saying he will leave. What I'm saying to you is, you are being very, very naive. Unless you know Isak personally, there's absolutely no way at all you can say that he's definitely not going to leave. That's what I'm saying. That's wonderful play by Neto. Gets into the box. Corner to Chelsea. Chelsea, it's Branthwaite again. Neto's done really well there down that right-hand side against Mikalenko. Skinned him there. Cut him inside and out. Alcaraz has come on, by the way, for... Who is he come on for? Jack Harrison. Alcaraz has come on for Jack Harrison at half-time for Everton. Reece, Isak has been Newcastle's best striker since Shearer. Yes, agreed. Anas, Everton are staying in the Prem, though, after a bad start. Yep, they are. That doesn't mean that it's exactly the same with Branthwaite, by the way. Same as we're talking about Isak. I think Branthwaite could be one to go to another club, maybe a Premier League club this summer. Jake, if we sell for 100 million, we can spend 400 to 500 million. We will do this next year in the next phase, trust me. Okay. He's told staff, owners, family and the friends at the final. Yeah, but only at the final. Again, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. Corin, do you think Branthwaite goes to Newcastle? I think he goes. I definitely think Branthwaite leaves. I'm not sure whether he'd go to Newcastle or not. I'm sure he would go to Newcastle, but I think there'll be other clubs in for Branthwaite. I think United might look at him. Although saying that, maybe not with Amorim there now. He might not look for a Branthwaite style of a centre-back. Branthwaite's probably closer in style to Maguire and De Ligt than he is to, Lenny Yoro, for example. And the centre-backs that Amorim wants, I think, will be your Goncalo Inacios and maybe your Hysons. Liverpool's targeting Hyson. I think Amorim will want a more of a ball-playing centre-back like Lisandro Martinez as well. They'll want more than that. So, yeah, I think Manchester United could look at Branthwaite. I think Newcastle could look at Branthwaite. I think Villa could look at Branthwaite, actually. Spin there at the front post from Madueke. Very nearly 2-0. Jake, he's a legend if he leaves in the right circumstances. Why would he turn it sour? Why wouldn't he turn it sour? Answer me that. Why wouldn't he turn it sour? I think you've got to remember, he's already won a trophy at Newcastle. He'll always be a legend. Unless he signs for Sunderland or Borough, then he's a legend, right? If he goes to another Premier League club, that wouldn't make him not a legend. He would leave the club and say, I've had a wonderful time at the club, and I've had an amazing time, and I'll never forget it, and I'll always remember Newcastle, and blah, blah, blah. But this is an opportunity I can't turn down. So why do you think he'll stay just for that sake? Like, it makes far more sense that Isak would leave than that he would stay. Assuming you don't get Champions League football. Corin, Branthwaite is better than them. Aren't Chelsea also going for Hyson? Chelsea are. Chelsea are. I think there's a fair few clubs interested in Hyson. I think Real Madrid were looking at him as well. Jake, exactly, he's a legend. If he said that, then fine, but he hasn't. But do you not see the flaw in your argument, Jake? Again, look, mate, I love you. You've been in these lives for a while, right? But do you not see the flaw in what you're saying here? That if he says it, then fine. And he's staying because he's said this. You're basing everything off what he said or what he hasn't said, right? 99% of what we say as human beings is non-verbal, right? And I am telling you that just because Isak says something doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. We've seen that. You've got millions of examples of it over the years in football. Loads of players say things and put statements out saying things. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean a jot. That's a foul. Chelsea free kick. Are we still 0-0 at Coventry, by the way? Still 0-0 in that one. Still 3-0 as well to Burnley at Loftus Road. QPR 0, Burnley 3. Luton 0, Coventry 0. Coventry having a man sent off, Jada Silva. By the way, if you haven't already, just while we've got this little break in play, if you haven't already, get over to YouTube. Give us a follow, give us a subscribe, all that good stuff. We're live on YouTube, posting videos every single day. Doing lives every single day. We watch lives of every single football game that's on, every league going. All the big ones, your Premier Leagues, your Champions Leagues, Europa League, Conference League games. But we've done Championship games in the last few days. We've done League One games. We're doing the Copa del Rey final tonight. Barcelona against Real Madrid, the El Clasico at 9 o'clock. We're going to be live straight after this for Newcastle v Ipswich. We're live straight after that for the FA Cup final, Palace v Villa. Big day of streaming. Tomorrow night, we're doing Napoli against Torino. Big game at the top of Serie A. Before that, we're going to be doing Liverpool lifting the trophy. Well, not lifting the trophy, but securing the Premier League title against Spurs at Anfield. And the first game tomorrow is a chance to watch Ruben Amorim's Manchester United and Hyson at Bournemouth. Bournemouth v Man United tomorrow is the early kick-off. Jake would be totally out of character. He's on a good journey, a very good one. He will end on good terms. But he could end on good terms this summer, couldn't he? He could end on good terms this summer. And you say he's on a good journey, but that journey might be slower than he wants. Which, if you don't get Champions League football this season, then that would be fair, I think. He's had no Champions League football for 2 years running. For a player of his level, That's not good enough. And he would have shown patience and loyalty to stay at a club when he could have left and could have kicked up a fuss and could have done the Nicolas Anelka, the Pierre Van Hooijdonk, the Dimitri Payet, the Philippe Coutinho. Oh, Everton have done it again. Oh, no, it was very nearly 2-0. Who was that giving it away at the back? I think it was Jake O'Brien, was it? I tell you what, Pickford had to come out and get that one. It was a back pass. I think it was from Jake O'Brien. He passes it back to Pickford and he underhits it. And Nicholas Jackson gets a touch on it. And it very nearly... Oh, Sanchez has got this all wrong at the other end. Goalkeeper's playing big parts in this already. Jake, we negotiate a new contract for Isak in the summer. You watch, already in the pipeline. And I know, but this is where you're being naive, though, mate. I want to grab you and shake you so you don't get like heartbroken with this. He will sign a new contract. Maybe he will, and he could leave literally a month after that. It happens all the time. It literally happens all the time. It's so common. Players signing new contracts does not mean that they're staying. Players putting statements out saying they're so happy at the club doesn't mean that they're staying. It's just so mad that you've got this way of thinking. I'm sure you want him to stay. And of course, I understand that. And I'm not saying he will go. But believe me when I say, if Newcastle don't get Champions League football, it wouldn't be surprising. If him and his agent got together and said, I think it's time. I think it's time now. Jake, go read what Yasser Al-Ramayan has told Hierarchy at Newcastle. Not for sale at any price. Again, based on words, based on statements, doesn't mean a thing. Saying, how often do you see it? Just not even just in football, in life, mate. In life, how often do you see people say one thing and do another? Happens all the time. All of the time. Every single day. Corin, yeah, FA Cup semi-final, not final. Did I say FA Cup final? Sorry, I meant the FA Cup semi-final. Palace against Villa, 5:15. We'll be live for that, straight after Newcastle Ipswich. Jake, owner said he wants us number one in football, which is mental, but I half believe it. You believe that he wants us number one in football? He wants Newcastle number one in football? Or you believe that he will make you number one in football? Because those are two very different things, aren't they? I believe maybe he does want to make Newcastle number one in football. Whether he will or not is a completely different set of circumstances, isn't it? Jaden, who are the top 5 best Premier League clubs? Well, right now, it's Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Chelsea, and Newcastle, isn't it? Yeah. No, Forest. Yeah, it's Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Chelsea and Forest. They're your top 5 Premier League clubs right now. Jake, selling Isak this summer doesn't make sense for Newcastle. It won't happen. Isak isn't desperate to leave. You don't know that. You can't know that. Nor can I know that he is. What I'm saying is it's the unknown. Neither of us know, so let's not pretend. But selling Isak this summer does make sense for Newcastle if Isak comes and says, I want to leave. That's the situation. Corin, do you think Arsenal are in the Champions League race? Yeah, no, not at all. I think Arsenal they've got it boxed. They'll win. They'll win the Champions League. They'll be in the Champions League next year. They won't win the Champions League, but they will be in it next year. Jake, he's literally... Mate, listen to what you're saying. Listen to what you're saying every single time. He's literally come out and said... It's words. It's words. There's no actions behind it. This is why you're saying he'll definitely stay because he said it. We're talking cross purposes here. I don't know if you're deliberately trying to wind up at this point, but you're talking out your ass. I love you, mate, but you're talking out your ass with that one. You're saying, but what if he comes and says other? But he hasn't. He said no. You don't know if he said that. He might have already said it. That's what I'm saying. This is the difference between our conversation right now. I'm saying this might happen. You're saying it definitely won't happen. That's all we're talking about here. I'm saying might, maybe. You're saying, no, definitely not. There's only one person here talking absolutes, and it ain't me. And you're saying, what if he says it? He might have already said it behind closed doors. You don't know that. There might be a gentleman's agreement between Newcastle and Isaac that if Newcastle don't get Champions League football in the summer, it is bye-bye time. And they'll facilitate a move. McNeil and Young about to come on for Everton. Jake Curtin buying a house in the region. Oh yeah, we all know players buying houses is absolute certainty that they're going to stay, because we all know how hard it is for them. Christ, there's managers still got houses at clubs they left 5 years ago. It happened, mate. They're not short of a bob or two. These footballers, you know, they're not short of a bob or two. They sell houses, they buy houses. Again, doesn't mean a thing. Palace or Villa tonight? I want Palace. Yeah, I'm hoping Palace win, but I don't mind. I'm just kind of watching that game for a laugh, to see what happens, to see if there's any good football and some good goals. But I'd probably, low key, I'm rooting for Palace. I like Unai Emery though, and I like Villa, but I just really like Oliver Glasner more. Corin wants Aston Villa. There you go. Potential foul, potential penalty for Chelsea. Ref says no. Have those changes happened for Everton yet? I saw them warming up on the side. I don't think they've actually come on yet, have they? No. So it was Alcaraz for Ndiaye. It wasn't even Alcaraz for Harrison. It was Alcaraz for Ndiaye. Liverpool legends, are you watching City versus Forest tomorrow? Surely that's not a serious question. You do realise that Liverpool and Spurs kick off at the same time as City and Forest. There's 3 players coming on here for Everton. It's Chimiti as well, I think, isn't it? Chimiti's coming on. Enzo Fernandez about to take this corner for Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez whips it in. Cleared away at the front post by Jared Branthwaite. Again, wins all of those headers, doesn't he? All of those headers. Here's Jackson. Caicedo all the way back to Lavia. Back to the keeper. Liverpool legends. I haven't checked the time of the game. Are you defo watching the... Yeah, of course I'm watching the Liverpool game, mate. There's no way I would not watch Liverpool. If they're on, I'm watching them. So, yeah, Liverpool against Spurs tomorrow. Sadly, due to stupid scheduling from the FA Cup and the Premier League, those games are being played at the same time. Forest and City are playing at the exact same time as Liverpool Spurs. So we can't watch both. We're just going to stick with Liverpool Spurs. We'll keep you updated, obviously, on that one. There's lots of fouls in the middle of the park here. The first 15 minutes of the second half have been a bit poor. There's not been too many big opportunities. Everton have scored the fewest goals in the Premier League this season, between minutes 61 and 75. That's an odd statistic, but they've only scored 1 goal in the next 15 minutes of phase across the Premier League in the entire season. So probably unlikely we see much from Everton over the next 10-15 minutes, and we're far more likely to see something from them in the final stage. Liverpool legends, Forest City should be at like 6:30. Yeah. In ideal world it would be, but sadly no. So instead we're going to watch Napoli and Torino. Once Liverpool and Spurs is finished tomorrow, we'll do Bournemouth Man United first, then we'll do Liverpool Spurs, and then once that's finished, we will be switching to Napoli against Torino. Chance for Everton here. Wow, great shot from Beto, and great save from Robert Sanchez. That's the first time he's been called into action there. That's a really good save from the Chelsea goalkeeper. And Neto's down the left-hand side here. For some reason, that's a foul on Mikolenko. I think that would have been a foul on Neto, actually. But good save there by Robert Sanchez. Jake, no Joe Linton. Great to see Botman back in the... Yeah, he's a cracking player, isn't he, Botman? I'll tell you, it was a fabulous strike, that, from Beto. Unlucky, that. Really unlucky. And a good save, low down to his right, from Robert Sanchez. Got a big, big hand to it. Jack Harrison coming off for Dwight McNeil. Excuse me. Patterson coming off for Ashley Young. It's not going to be a good sign for Everton fans up against Madueke. And Beto's coming off for Yusuf Chimiti. So Chimiti's going to get a good half an hour of football here. Can he have an influence on the game? Corin, I think it'll be a comfortable City win anyway. Yeah, I think City probably will get the better of Forest tomorrow. I just hope that whoever wins in the other one, whether it be Palace or Villa, they get the better of City in the final. But I do think City will, sadly, get past Forest. Even though it wasn't that long ago, Forest beat City at the City ground, so they're certainly not strangers to beating City, are they? Jake, could be a banana slip for Newcastle. Ipswich going to Bournemouth recently and doing well. I can't see so, mate. I think you'll snot them 3 or 4-0 minimum. Isak, our mate Isak, putting in a big display. Jonathan Guzman, 37. Barcelona or Real Madrid? I think Barcelona will win that tonight. We're live from 8:15 for Barcelona Real Madrid tonight. We're going to be doing a watch along on that one. So if you fancy watching that game, if you fancy a watch along, get over and watch it with me. Get subscribing. I'm live on YouTube. I'm live on TikTok, but I'm live on YouTube. Premier League Dad. Get over and subscribe if you haven't already. So yeah, that'll be a big one. But I fancy Barcelona to win the Clasico. Corin, Forest not on great form, and City on great form too. Oh, not on great form. So, well, I guess we'll see. I think City have done well recently, haven't they? So we'll see that one. Life of Sebastian. Real Madrid are going to win. It'll be a good game, won't it? It will be a good game. We watched Real Madrid. We did a live watch along of Real Madrid against the Atletico Bilbao the other day, and I thought Madrid were really poor in the first half. In the second half, they did a lot better, and Vinicius started to come into it a bit more. And obviously, that was a great finish from Fede Valverde. Ernesto Valverde manages Bilbao, but yeah, Fede Valverde with a great goal against Bilbao. It was a wonderful finish, and they deserved, I think, in the end to win that one. Life of Sebastian, thank you for the follow. Jonathan Guzman, convince me not to go the Liverpool bar to watch the Clasico game. Go for it, mate. Go for it. Do what makes you happy. Jake, I think Isak may need another week. The 3 games this week with no rotation hits him hard. See, this is the other thing. Isak's 3 games a week. Is he going to be able to do that playing regularly with Europe and everything as well? Life of Sebastian, yes, because that's mandatory for them to win this final. Yeah, they're going to have to do something, Real Madrid, aren't they? It's been a very disappointing season so far. Looks like they're going to finish second in La Liga, obviously out of the Champions League. Oh, Idrissa Gueye with a volley from the edge of the area there. Straight down Robert Sanchez's throat. He managed to catch it. But do you know what? It's mad how often Idrissa Gueye finds himself in those positions around the edge of the area. It's the one area you would want someone who can strike a ball and can finish. That is stupidly good play. Oh my God. Moise Caicedo has just done something insane. Picked the ball up. Literally on the half turn from the goalkeeper, and he ran and ran and ran. And there was 3-4 Everton players couldn't get the ball off him. Gets to the edge of the area. It's a terrible shot from him. But that was fabulous play from Moise Caicedo. Really, really good play. Corin, Ollie Watkins is pretty fuming with Unai Emery. I think he just knows, doesn't he, that he's not going to be at the club next summer. I imagine Villa will be offering him out to people again, maybe to Arsenal. Jaden, what's up with Joe Linton? I've no idea. I know he's not in the team today. But yeah, it's interesting. Oh, knee injury, maybe back next week. Right. Life of Sebastian, since KM is there, the team is being disappointed. What the F? Yeah, I mean, Kylian Mbappe, thank you for sending that, by the way, Life of Sebastian. Kylian Mbappe hasn't quite taken to his time at Madrid yet, has he? That foul against Alaves the other week was horrific. I actually think he should have been suspended for this game, Mbappe. There's no way he should still be playing after that tackle against Alaves. It was a really, really poor tackle. And I do just think, I wonder whether or not Real Madrid will move one of those front players on this summer. When Ancelotti goes, maybe Xabi Alonso comes in. I just wonder, with all the change at Madrid, maybe Vinicius could go, maybe Rodrigo could go, one of those two, and then Mbappe would drift back out to his normal left-sided slot. And actually that would free up a centre-forward position, wouldn't it, for maybe an Isak, maybe a Haaland. Offside there, Everton, free kick to Chelsea. Reece, wait, are Madrid out of the Champions League? Who beat them? Oh, here we go. Arsenal fans getting all excited. Corin, 4-0 Burnley. Yeah, I've just spotted that. 4-0 to Burnley. Cullen, Fleming with 2, and Sarmiento's just got another one for them. Still 0-0 in that big game at Kenilworth Road. Luton 0, Coventry 0. Coventry down to 10 men. Jada Silva with a man getting sent off for denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. Last man tackle. Life of Sebastian, what do you think about Madrid with Mbappe and Madrid without him? They look a little bit all over the place with him. I think that it feels like Real Madrid are a group of 11 players, very, very talented players, just thrown in mishmash into any old sort of system, and there's no real connection there. There's no real style of play. There's no sort of cohesive movement off the ball. It feels like they're all kind of just doing their own thing. So when Mbappe hasn't been playing, I don't think you can just pin it on Mbappe, by the way. I think it comes from Vinicius having to play in that position. Mbappe then being moved to centre forward. That's not where he plays. He is a left winger, I think. That's where he plays his best stuff. And he's having to adapt. And if you pay all that money for the best young player in the world, you don't play him out of position. It would literally be like them signing Trent this summer and sticking him in midfield. Jonathan Guzman, one last question. Do you think Yamal is going to score or assist today? Yeah, I think he is. Yeah, I think Yamal gets an assist, definitely. Corin, why is Maresca not managing Chelsea today? Is he not? Chelsea are just playing dangerously. Everton again, a bit more chance, a bit more joy on the ball in that final third. I wouldn't rule out an equaliser here. Really wouldn't rule out an equaliser. Mikolenko with the ball deep into the box. Knocked on, Chimiti. Oh. Nah, he's not claiming anything there. Corin, what happened to Evan Ferguson? Yeah, I think injuries have just knocked him off the boil a little bit. I still think there's a talented player in there somewhere, though. But doesn't that just tell you everything you need to know about young players these days? Evan Ferguson last year, there was rumours of, City, Man United, all these teams bidding £100 million for him, and he came into that Brighton side. He'd scored the hat trick against. Who was he got the hat trick against? Was that against Villa? He just looked a phenomenal young talent, and again there was all these rumours about him leaving. If ever any team had spent that sort of money on Evan Ferguson, they'd have had a real shocker this season, wouldn't they? Because he's just not been right. Aviation Josh, does anyone know where Joe Linton is? Isn't starting on the bench. I think he's had a knee injury, is what has been said in the chat, Josh. I think he's had a slight knee injury. and he should be back next week. So that seems to be the indication from the Newcastle fans in the chat. Whether or not that's true or not, I don't know. Luton have had a man sent off against Coventry. Both teams now down to 10 men. It's Liam Walsh has been sent off, and there's yellow cards galore in that one as well. Binks, Collins, and 2 yellow cards for Luton just in the last 60 seconds or so. It's all going off at Kenilworth Road here. It's all going off. It's all going off here, to be honest. Everton piling pressure forward on Chelsea. Oh, Mikalenko at the far post, getting it all wrong. Kicking fresh air there. Corin, hat-trick against Arsenal, I think. Yeah. Michael, Chelsea not shooting enough. They're not getting it anywhere near the ball to be able to do that. Cole Palmer's not had any influence on this game at all. He's been a passenger in the game. Here's Madueke driving at Ashley Young. He gets into the box. Oh, it's a hell of a save from Jordan Pickford. That's wonderful from Jordan Pickford. Madueke got up against Ashley Young, cuts into his left-hand side, cuts in again, another shot low down. It's a wonderful save from Pickford. I give Jordan Pickford some stick, but I tell you what, that was a good save. It was a really important save to keep Everton in it. Really important. Willie Caballero on the touchline for Chelsea there. You can see he was disappointed with that. Jake, knee injury is what Eddie Howe said in an interview. I don't put myself in a situation where I'm wrong ever. Why Isaac will stay the tune. Corin, I love Jordan Pickford. Yeah, he's definitely Marmite, isn't he? Love him or hate him. Chance there. Good save from Pickford again. Cucurella with a header 6 yards out. It was a bit of a soft one, but Pickford had to get it. And he does. Still 1-0 Chelsea. Still 1-0. And it's 0-0 at Coventry. Luton Coventry. And we've had one. So there's 3 cards for Coventry plus a red card. 2 cards for Luton plus a red card as well. It's an ill-disciplined affair at Kenilworth Road. Mikalenko with the ball in on the left-hand side. It's knocked behind by Colwill. Corner to Everton here. The Everton fans behind the goal. It's that goal as well. They're getting up. They're getting up. Jack Dowling need BTTS. Come on, the Toffees. Whoo-wee. Well, it's a corner. James Garner's going to take it. Jimmy Garner. Hey, Callum, wind your neck in. Corin, he's our Andy Robertson. Absolutely. Right, corner kick here for Chelsea. For Everton, sorry. Jake O'Brien's forward. Branthwaite's forward. Good claim by Robert Sanchez. Very important. He's been better in the second half. Much, much better. Early release here, and Chelsea are on the counter-attack. Oh, and they get it all wrong. They get it all wrong, and Everton win it back. It's not good enough, this. It's not good enough. Callum, I said 1-0 Chelsea. Alright, quit bragging. Quit bragging. Great ball over the top for Everton. Chimiti. It was a good piece of defending there by Cucurella. Caught by McNeil. Ball back in. Again cleared away by Colwill. Nicholas Jackson coming deep to win the ball back and then pressing forward and asking for the ball again. That is where Nicholas Jackson is very good. And that's where I think Everton are going to have to do better. I think their centre forward needs a bit of that next season. Jadon Sancho's about to come on for Chelsea. Yeah, Everton, they're just not mobile enough in that final third. I think that's the problem for him. Sancho's coming on for, I think it's for Madueke, isn't it? Yeah, Madueke's going off. Madueke off, Sancho on. Again, just a reminder, while we've got this break in play, that straight after this game, I am live again for Newcastle against Ipswich. We're going to do a watch-along, Newcastle against Ipswich, so if you're watching that, stick with us. Then we'll be live again straight after that for the big FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. Crystal Palace against Aston Villa. That kicks off at 5:15. And then as soon as that's finished, we're going to Spain. We're going watching the Clásico, the Copa del Rey final, Real Madrid against Barcelona. That's a 9 o'clock kickoff here, UK time. So I'll be live for all of them today. 4 big watch-alongs, starting with this, finishing with Real Madrid, Barcelona. So stick with me today. And then tomorrow we're live again, Bournemouth, Man United. We'll be live from 1 o'clock. Straight after that, we're live for Liverpool, clinching the league title against Spurs at 4 o'clock. And then the late game, we're going to do a Serie A game. Napoli could go top of Serie A if they beat Torino. Chelsea have just... Oh, good bit of defending there by Colwill. I tell you what, Chimiti was in there. Chimiti had a chance for Everton. Corin, that rattled Man United fan yesterday. I know. Callum the Copite. Luckily, I'm at Anfield tomorrow. Good lad. Good lad. That guy, Jack, in America, it's 7 in the morning. El Clasico is at 2 p.m. And the Chelsea game started at 5:30 a.m. Well, hey, mate. You've certainly caught us 7 a.m. in your time. That's not bad. So, maybe you can watch a little bit of it. Corin, imagine after all of that you lose to Spurs tomorrow. I know. I have got that in the back of my mind, but I don't think we will. I can't see us getting beat off Spurs at Anfield when we need to just get a point to win the league. We might just get a point, so there might be a chance we just kind of limp through. Here we go. Ball down the left-hand side. Good clearance by Chelsea. Cole Palmer, bit too heavy. Pettinetto can't get to it. Pickford's got the ball now for Everton. Last 10 minutes here. Last 10 minutes. Get in the chat and let me know what you think in predictions-wise. For this one, predictions for Newcastle and Ipswich straight after it. That's the big game at 3 o'clock. There are other Premier League games going on at 3 o'clock, by the way. It's not just those. Brighton playing West Ham at the Amex. Southampton have got Fulham at St Mary's. Can Southampton somehow not be the worst ever Premier League side? They need to pick up a couple more points to finish ahead of Derby's lowest ever Premier League points total. And then Wolves against Leicester. Obviously, Leicester already confirmed down after that defeat at home to Liverpool last week. Jamie Vardy confirming he's leaving Leicester at the end of the season. And Wolves are at home in that one. So at Wolves against Leicester at Molineux. I think Wolves should do them there. Fulham away to Southampton at St Mary's. Again, I would expect Marco Silva's side to keep up their push for European football. I think they'll get a result at St Mary's. And Brighton against West Ham, I think that could be an interesting one. Neither team wanting to slow down as the season approaches the end. I think Graham Potter still trying to get a tune out of this West Ham side for next season. Big summer for them. And Brighton, look, they've still got an outside chance of European football too next season. So, great ball that from Everton. And again, good play, just offside. Good play in the final third. Very slick from Everton. They are just quickening things up a little bit. Michael, 1 a.m. in New Zealand. Rest of the games at 3 and 4 a.m. Bloody hell. Dedication, that, if you're a football fan. If you're a Premier League football fan and you're in New Zealand or Australia or even America, you are committed. I'll give you that, if nothing else. Last 10 minutes here. Can Everton get something in this one? Graham Potter sacked at Christmas. That's what you think, Corin? Whew. I don't know. I think Graham Potter will do something at West Ham. If he gets the time. If he gets the time, I think he can turn it round. Long ball from Robert Sanchez. Knocked away by Branthwaite. Moyes just rallying his players. You can see him just applauding them and saying, come on, step it up for this last 10 minutes. Jack, thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate that, mate. Thank you for everyone sharing the live and commenting. Again, if you haven't been over to YouTube and subscribed, please do so at Premier League Dad. Get over there and subscribe. We're live, bringing football every single day. If there's a football match on, chances are we're live. So if you like watch-alongs, No matter what team you support, get over and follow Premier League Dad. Make sure you've done it on YouTube and on TikTok as well. We're also live on Instagram, Twitch, X, Facebook. All of them. All the big socials. But, yeah. We're live on TikTok and YouTube right now as well. Everton, good little play there in the final third. They are just getting a few passes together. And Chelsea win it back. They're going to have to take a few more chances here, Everton. They're going to have to push some more bodies forward. It still feels to me like they've not committed enough forward. I don't know if Everton fans feel like that. It feels like you're not throwing enough bodies forward. Look at that. It's the 83rd minute, and there's no press on Chelsea at all. They've got the ball just inside the Everton half. There's no real press on them. There's no real press at all. James Garner's pressing. Everyone else, maybe Dwight McNeil as well. Dwight McNeil and Garner, the only ones pressing. Everyone else, very laboured, very casual. Cucurella, back out wide. Chelsea just slowing the game down now. They're quite happy with this where it is. Good play by Caicedo. This is a very, very big win for Chelsea if they can get it. Mikolenko intercepts the ball from Caicedo into Idrissa Gana Gueye. Gueye to McNeil. McNeil gives it away. Back out wide to Neto. Neto to Cole Palmer here. Cole Palmer cuts inside on his left. Cucurella, shot from distance. Good save, chance. 1, that's 2. I think he's on. Is he ruled out? The flag's up against Nicholas Jackson, but I tell you what, he looked like he might have been onside there. He might have been onside. It might be 2-0 Chelsea. There will be a check. We'll have a look. Of course we'll have a look. Oh, he's miles off. He's miles off. He's miles off. So it's going to stay 1-0. It's going to stay Chelsea 1, Everton 0. Jackson just offside there. Reese, just got your 30-minute reminder on YouTube, did it? All right, that's good. At least that's working. I've scheduled everything on YouTube now, so you can actually see what we're going to be watching days in advance. So, yeah, that seems to be going a bit better. Chelsea up to 4th, Forest stay in 5th, Newcastle in 6th, Villa in 7th. It's going to be any 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, any 2 from those 5 to get Champions League football next season, isn't it? Any 2 from those 5. Forest and Villa, of course, in FA Cup action this weekend, so they'll be a game behind. Yeah, they'll be a game behind, I'm sure. Cheers for the likes, everyone. Cheers for the likes, Jake. Liverpool Legends, they've already played this week, haven't they? No. So, Villa are on... 1 second. So, sorry, Villa have, Forest haven't. Sorry, you're right. Villa have, Forest haven't. So, Villa will have... Forest will have a game in hand on all of those teams. Even though, yeah, Forest played against Spurs, they will still have a game in hand. Chance, Everton, oh my goodness me. Oh, it's a hell of a save from Robert Sanchez. How are we going into this second half believing that Robert Sanchez might actually be the man of the match here for Chelsea? It's a hell of a ball from Alcaraz. Oh, it's a great save down low to his right. I think it was McNeil who came in. He got a little... It was a weird shot, to be honest, but it was going the opposite way. Sanchez tipping it round the corner. Unbelievable save. Sanchez has had to be at his best. He's made maybe 3 very good saves from Everton in this second half. Really unlucky from Everton, actually. And they've got a corner here now. They've got a corner. Corin, is Fabio Carvalho on loan at Brentford? No, he's signed for them permanently. Corin, do you think Calvin Phillips goes back to City? Well, he will go back to City, but he'll also certainly leave after that. Great claim from Robert Sanchez from the corner. And all his teammates jump on him and applaud him. Do you know what? He's had a... This might be the start of the redemption arc for Robert Sanchez. Who saw that coming? Unbelievable couple of saves there in the second half. David Moyes is on his knees. He's literally on... He drops to his knees there. He can't believe that Robert Sanchez gets the save. McNeil probably should have done a little bit better. I think you're right. Wrong side from McNeil, says Callum. Jake, Man City are expected to spend massive in the summer. Doubt he'll play. Yeah, he'll go. He will go in the summer, won't he? Calvin Phillips. It's just worth two. I think Leeds is one to watch. Back to Leeds. Calvin Phillips, back to Leeds. That's poor. That's really poor. Free kick to Everton. I thought that would have been a free kick to Chelsea, to be honest, but it's Chimiti who's gone down. Ashley Young pushing him back up and telling him to get forward. There's going to be a couple more changes here for Chelsea. It's going to be Kieran Dewsbury-Hall and Tyreek George coming on. Corin, no, not Michael Keane. Oh, God. Michael Keane will just come on and play centre-forward. We've seen him do this before for Everton, haven't we? Come on and as an auxiliary centre-forward. Liam Carl, thank you for sending that, mate. Appreciate it. It's a free kick here for Everton. Deep in the Chelsea half. Can they? It's near the halfway line. They're going to just pump it forward. Jared Branthwaite. It's come all the way through to Mikalenko. Oh, and it's good defending that by Neto. Mikalenko throwing now for Everton. It's a long throw into the box. Long throw into the box from Mikalenko here. Corin, thank you for sending that. Branthwaite's gone right to the near post. Long throw in. Flick on. Back out to Mikalenko. Can he get it in with his right foot? Hell of a ball, that. And Sanchez comes out and claims it again. That's what you want from your goalkeepers. 4 minutes of added on time here that we've just gone into. 4 minutes of added on time. Brilliant from Robert Sanchez. QPR 0, Burnley 5. QPR 0, Burnley 5. Luton and Coventry is still 0-0. That one looks like it might well be done and dusted there. I don't think we're going to get too many more goals in that one. Might be more red cards than there will be goals. There's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards shown in that Coventry and Luton game, by the way. 10 cards. And 2 of them were red. So 2 reds, 8 yellows. In a game that actually only involved 16 players. 2 reds, 8 yellows. 16 players on the pitch. Jonathan Guzman, Burnley are making a statement. Absolutely, they're letting Leeds know, listen, we're coming for this title. We're coming for this title. They've got to go to Plymouth and get something. They've got to go to Plymouth on the last day and get something. Right, Everton driving forward. They haven't got long here now. 1 minute and 30 left on the... Well, 1 minute and 30 gone on the clock in added on time. So maybe 2.5 minutes to go. Can they get another opportunity here to put the ball into the box? That feels like their best chance. That's really neat play. Really neat play, actually. Oh, Decore. He's got to put it in the box there. Oh, and he gets it all wrong, Abdoulaye Decore. That's so disappointing from him. He had a chance. He had a chance. He really did. And all he had to do was put it into an area. Or even just, he had the overlap. I think he had Mikalenko on the overlap there. And he just puts it into a ridiculous area where Robert Sanchez comes out, claims it very easily. And now they'll run the clock down. They will run the clock down. Mr. Fabby 305. Yes, bro. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Naylor, Sancho scored. No, not on my telly he hasn't. Not on my telly he hasn't. Corin Decore. I know Decore's been poor. Do you know what? I've got to say I'm quite happy with for Robert Sanchez though. I think Robert Sanchez has done very, very well there. He's done very, very well. Jonathan Guzman, did you hear Jamie Vardy could join Wrexham or Charlotte FC? I don't think he'll go to Wrexham. I think he'll be one to go and pick out. You know, him and his family will go and get a big opportunity over in the States. Offside, and that might be that. It's an offside for Everton. Chelsea now have a free kick. There is 45 seconds left. 45 seconds left. That might be us done there for Everton. I think it might finish 1-0 here. Yeah, I expect Jamie Vardy will go to the MLS. To be fair, I expect that's where he's going to end up. Right, just a reminder, again, by the way, if you're watching football this afternoon and you want to stick around, you want a good watch along, we're going to be live at 3 o'clock for Newcastle United against Ipswich Town at St James's Park. We're going to be live doing a watch along straight after this. So as soon as this live ends, I'll be starting another one in about 10 minutes for Newcastle against Ipswich. So if you want to rejoin me, make sure you get over to YouTube and follow Premier League Dad. Make sure you followed Premier League Dad here on TikTok as well. There's one last chance here, I think, for Everton. One last chance to pump it into the box. They've sent it long. Jared Branthwaite forward. Good flick on. And the refs give a foul. Jared Branthwaite there went up with his arms, and I think he gave Reece James an elbow there. And that just gave Everton Chelsea all the opportunity they needed. I think that's it done now. That's it done. Could go Saudi. Yeah, Vardy could go Saudi. Yeah, he could go anywhere, couldn't he now? No skill, Aaron. What a boring match. It wasn't actually. I think it's been an alright game, this. Not been great, not vintage, but Robert Sanchez has had to make some big saves. Chelsea there cheering. They're all happy. It's a big 3 points for Chelsea. A massive 3 points for Chelsea. Everton lose at Stamford Bridge yet again. They didn't play that badly, Everton. They really didn't. They had a couple of chances. I think they'll be disappointed not to have got more out of the game. But Chelsea probably full value for the win. And you know what? The goal that Chelsea did score all came from Everton. It came direct from an Everton mistake. And you can see they've all gone to Robert Sanchez. They're all giving him hugs, and he looks quite emotional. It's a really big performance from him because he's had lots of stick, hasn't he, as the Chelsea goalkeeper. But a hell of a performance from him there. He's done well. He has done well. Oh my goodness me, Luton with a late winner. Luton with a late winner. What has happened here? 1-0. Oh my God, Shandon Baptiste has done it for Luton. Shandon Baptiste has done it for Luton. It's 1-0. The game has ended, yes, me256. It's finished here. Chelsea 1, Everton 0. That game's finished. But Luton have pinched it at the death at Kenilworth Road. 1-0 Luton. That is unbelievably big. That is massive. Liverpool Legends, is that Argyle down? No, it's not Argyle down. Argyle still have a very good chance of staying up, but they will need to win against Preston at Deepdale at 3 o'clock today, and then they will need to beat Leeds on the last day at Home Park. That doesn't change for Plymouth. If they can do that, then they've got a chance, but they still need the likes of Hull and probably Luton and probably Oxford and Preston all to drop points elsewhere. If they do that, then Plymouth can still stay up, but it's going to be very, very tight. It's very, very tight for them. Corin, Celtic have won the league. Yeah. Jake, thank you for sending them through. We're about to go live in a moment, by the way. We're going to go live for Newcastle against Ipswich, so I'm going to end the stream now, right? If you haven't already, get over to Premier League Dad on YouTube. Give us a follow. We do watch-alongs for all games. All games. I'm a Liverpool fan, but we watch everyone. We watch Premier League games, Champions League games, Championship games. We've watched League One games in the last few days. Serie A, La Liga, the Europa League, the Conference League. We're doing all of those big games over the next week, and we do live watch-alongs for every single one. So if you like live watch-alongs, if you like these sort of things, and you like we have loads of people in the chat, loads of banter back and forth from fans of other clubs. If that's your thing, give us a follow. Get over to Premier League Dad on YouTube and subscribe. And I'll be back in about 15 to 20 minutes for Newcastle against Ipswich. So if you like that sort of thing, make sure you give us a follow. We'll be live for Newcastle and Ipswich in 15 minutes or so. Take it easy, and I will see you in 15 minutes or so.